Welcome back to episode 59 of the Quarantine Cast on Beyond the Brick. I'm Joshua Hanlon. I've got Brian Saviano and Kirk Wilson back with me to talk about some BrickLink designer program sets and all the other LEGO news that's happened this week. So before we get into the news, for those who haven't been following along the last couple weeks, I'm continuing to build the police station modular building set. So I'll be doing some more on that today. Brian, do you have anything that you'll be trying to work on?
Okay. They revealed it on Brick Set. Are we able to show the BrickHeadz? Birds?
BrickHeadz?
Bird. Bird, cat. Vague. Okay, April says we can in Discord. Okay, so I built the cockatiel right here. So I built this ahead of time. Thank you, April. The great beyond. Appreciate it. I built these two right here. So I trust April more than I trust John with this track record. So we got these two right here. And then we also have a couple other different animals that have been unveiled. There's a tabby cat, kitten, ginger tubby. There's that. And then there's also little hammies, little hamsters. So those are, as the kids would say, adorbs. So I'm excited to build a little bit of these as we talk about all the shenanigans and all the beehives nests that I kicked over the past 96 hours.
Sounds like I need to catch up on Twitter before we get going into the stream here.
Oh, sir. Sir.
Oh, boy.
Kirk, did you start any flame wars over this past week?
No, I don't think I did, actually. There was like a brief message I got on Twitter from Flynn in regards to a movie that came out with Chris Pratt. But we had a very nice and simple discussion about it in DMs, and that was it. So I think everything was pretty calm for me. Besides the news that we did get, which we will get into that later. So you guys will hear me talking a lot this episode.
How about you, April? Anything exciting from this week?
No, not really, actually.
Hey, speaking of April B, look what I got. Hey!
Yay!
There we go. Nice and form fitting. It accentuates my curves. I like it.
Looks good. Thank
Good
you.
stuff. Thank you.
The exclusive B collection from April's merch store.
Oh, man.
Yes, of course. What's not exclusive is the overwhelming support of the one and only Esh Daddy week after week with a $19.99 super chat. What happened? I thought last week was the last. Oh, and the LME Toys thing. Building your mind one brick at a time. Thank you, Esh Daddy. So, no, last week was not the last week. This week is not the last week. The next week is the last week.
Mm-hmm.
That's not confusing at all. But
Nope.
Yes, thank you. So we have today and then one more stream next week before we officially close the Quarantine Cast chapter and head out for LEGO conventions over the summer here. So lots of exciting shows and content coming up in the future weeks here on Beyond the Brick. You know what else is exciting is LEGO Masters Season 2. We have Jen with us for the first time. Glad you could finally make it in.
Hello.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm like so thrilled to be part of this. You can't. Thank you. This is great.
For sure. We have a new episode tonight, right? There was nothing last week.
Yeah, last week was a bye week, and then new episode tonight.
Awesome stuff.
No spoilers.
How has that experience been for you watching the episode so far? Have you gotten together with like groups of people, or just been watching it on your own?
I actually have a watch party every single week that it airs, and so I get together at a movie theater with anybody who wants to show up. And so I usually am sitting surrounded by like 70 people, and we're all screaming at the screen and cheering, and it's fantastic because I haven't actually seen these edits yet. So some of this is new to me. Hearing the conversations at the various build tables is so much fun, and so I've been just thoroughly enjoying this season. It's fantastic.
That's awesome. We have a question in the chat about what's behind you there. What are some of the builds? You've got something that Brian might appreciate behind you there as well.
I've got like my Mario statue, and he might be happy to know, Brian, this is for you. I'm planning to create his buddy, his brother, Luigi, here in a little bit, also 3 feet tall. And then on this side, I have my steam greeble that I'm working on, and those are going to be lit and hung on a wall. And so figuring out the wiring on that, but that's in the middle of my projects right there. But that's what the funness that's happening in my studio right now.
I very much approve of Mario. Excellent job. I've seen
Thank
that
you.
floating around online, but it's very tall. It's very tall and very beautiful.
Yeah, he's big, and I have to say he's a little bit heavy to carry around. And if I don't have my gardening gloves on, it's a bit pokey, and requires all the Lego stamina that we have to lug him through convention halls. But it's so worth it.
No, absolutely. That's the same way with the Pikachu that I built recently, Eevee. It's just pure brick. So it's bulky in a good way, but yeah, they get prickly.
Yeah.
Say that again.
I was just saying they get prickly,
Yes.
like because
yes.
it's all brick. Yeah.
So are yours solid?
So it's not necessarily solid, but it's definitely dense with all the brick. Like there's a little bit of interconnected brick just to keep it solid, but it is hollow on the inside.
Yeah, mine's hollow too. For your bigger statues, do you fuse yours together at all?
No, I thought about it. And I mean, they're not going to come apart anyways. I don't want to take them apart, but they're pretty solid as they are. Maybe for like safety, I would probably fuse them together somehow, but then that's also effort, and I just don't feel like it. So maybe one day.
Love it.
Have you seen Brian and Nick's challenges for the Lego Masters builds each week at all that they stream on Nick's channel?
Just a little bit, little peeks. So show me more. What's got?
Sure.
Brian, do you have any of the builds there?
Let me see. I think I do. Hold on. I got. Yeah. Hold on.
I love show and tell.
So last week was a wearable challenge, or last time. So I ended up building the like a scepter, not a scepter, a trident for an underwater themed wearable. So I built this as if it were like the trident that I would hold. Nick ended up building a hat, which I can pull up on Instagram here in a hot second, but I also built goggles to go with them. So these are the glasses that I wore to go with the fish-related hat. These right here. So you see like a crab, treasure chest, fish, starfish, all sorts of things, shark fins on the ends there. So that's what we did last week. So we'll be doing this tomorrow on his channel based on floating things. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Bravo on the fashion show. To make it pure
Thank
fashion, however, you have to hold this model's face for 5 seconds while you're wearing them. Not easy to do. I couldn't do it. I kept busting out and laughing at the judges. It was fantastic. Yes, baby. I love it. So sick.
There we go. All right.
Fashion.
So, something about fashion. I'm clearly the fashion guy. Looking at me week to week, I accentuate fashion for sure.
So Jang popped into the green room for a few minutes earlier, but then he left. So Jang, if you're watching, you need to get back in here before we dive into all of the spicy news from this week. Because Brian,
who?
A little streamer that you were trying to help get some more views, Brian. That's all. You don't need to worry about him.
Okay, gotcha. I already have enough trouble trying to help out Kirk in the day-to-day, so I can't. My time is very valuable, Joshua. I can't be just throwing that out there for you.
You can't be just messing around playing pickleball all day, can you?
No. My time is very valuable. So let me show briefly before we have intruders on the live stream what Nick built last time. I shared it on the screen here. So yeah, the trident, goggles, and then a hat. Nick did a fish, seaweed, crab, with a little gold coin, I believe, and then like on the sea floor. So it's pretty nice, pretty stellar job that me and Nick did. That'd be great if he were here to talk about it, but hey, that's fine. He's doing whatever right now. So yeah, that's what we did.
Love it. Looking forward to tomorrow's stream as well.
Yes, it'll be good. 10 a.m. Eastern is when that happens. So I just barely get a chance to watch it myself because I end up watching Lego Masters on Hulu. So I get an idea of what's going on before me and Nick actually do it, and I watch the full episode afterward. So it's a lot, but it's good stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So which sets did you buy from BrickLink, Brian?
None actually. I didn't end up buying anything because I didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like it. I
fully intended to buy the castle and the flight set, and then by the time I got around to checking, everything had sold out. So
okay.
I expected it to be like the first ADP program. I didn't think it was crazy how fast stuff like sold, especially the castle. I think sold out very quickly. So that's unfortunate, but I think I'll survive.
Yeah, I think we were a little bit wrong on like a little bit of the timing, the prices, and a lot of other aspects of the program when that was unfolding.
That's a nice way of saying we got everything wrong.
well, because I know I talked with April about the castle being $300, and it was half that, and that's a very appealing price for what that is. So, and a bunch of other aspects of it too. So, man, just. So let me tell you the timeline of what happened with me, right? So all this went live, and it went live at noon, I think, Eastern. In the BrickLink designer program, they had a whole bunch of things go live for pre-order. And then I was driving, saw that the castle sold out. And then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That happened. The boat's almost gone. And then I saw the Kakapo and Bionicle be some of the last two to make it into a full crowdfunding, which would go first. And as I saw the Kakapo was really outperforming Bionicle, I put out a tweet to kind of rally the troops and kind of, I really kicked the bees ass. Now, I did this on my way to, or rather, as I was leaving for a wedding, right? So I was leaving Thursday, not being on social media, don't want to bother with people, leave me alone, don't whatever, right? So what I did, there's Nick. Hey, Nick, what's up?
Nick.
So what I did was I tweeted out the following. If all you Bionicle fans don't buy this set and get it funded to 3,000 units, never complain about Bionicle being dead ever again. This is your fault. So I tweeted that out.
Wow.
It ended up getting 50 retweets, 120 likes, and 40 responses, ranging from praising me for being right to a lot of people being a little ticked off. So that's how I started my wedding weekend. And it was all downhill from there. So I had a lot of fun with that one. So, yeah.
Man, look at you. You know how to get the traction online, don't you, Brian?
Some of my most popular tweets are me calling out the Bionicle community, and I don't know how that makes me feel. I wish it was not that way, but here we are. Here it is.
I was scrolling on my phone, and I get a notification of the tweet, and I'm just like, oh no, Brian, what did you do? Why did you do this? Just why? And then I just see all the notifications from everyone commenting on it, and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to close Twitter. This is not going to go well at all.
So I'll share my screen here to kind of give you a gist of what the projects looked like by the end of it here. So the Castle in the Forest ended up retailing for $180, sold out by noon. It was gone. The Great Fishing Boat was next at $130. That sold out second, shortly thereafter. And we didn't actually know what the prices for all of these sets was going to be So nobody had a good budget for themselves or anything like that. So this being 180, this had what? I don't know how many parts, but it was a good price to part value. Same thing for the fishing boat. Next up was the Pursuit of Flight. All of these were gone day one, by the way. So sorry, go ahead. So all of these were gone day one. So the Sheriff's Safe, Pursuit of Flight. Then it came down to these two. All right. So the Kakapo was $80, and then you also had the Bionicle Legends, and then the Particle Accelerator did not end up coming anywhere near close. So it looks like just about by the end of it, these two ended up getting the same amount of funding toward the very end of it there. This one is almost at its maximum. I'm surprised it's not quite yet. Maybe you can't get it. I don't know. But yeah. So that's the thing. That's the thing that we're at right now. The Kakapo ended up, being an $80 price point here. And it stomped on Bionicle. It really did. It curb stomped Bionicle into the ground. This set, I know a lot of people were not excited about because it wasn't a system Bionicle set. It was a Lego, brick built set. And I think the $120 price point is a little bit jarring, but this is a big set. It is like a larger scale set. So like, you got to keep that in mind with this model specifically. And I have all sorts of thoughts on this stuff, but I don't know about anyone else in the room right now.
Well, before we get into those thoughts, we should get some more people in the stream here.
Hey,
We've got
look at that.
Jang and Joseph. Finally, I think, is this your first time in the quarantine cast?
It is. Thank you for having me.
Yes. I'm glad you finally got in on an episode.
Yeah, thank you. I know an invitation was extended, but I had to take off work, so it never really worked out. So I thought I'd slide my way in before it all ended.
Joe messaged me and he was like, "Hey, can I redeem that invite card?" I'm like, I mean, yeah, sure. All right. So there we go. And then we have that down there, that live streamer that ends up having all the sound effects and all of the interactive things.
I'll
Brian's
never be Bricks O'Brien, but I'm a wannabe.
No, Brian's just jealous because Jang's got a better stream setup than him now.
Well, no, low key I am. But if I ended up having all those redeems on, I would be driven insane by the kids. I can't do it. I just can't make it happen. So
before we continue, we just need to take a moment. These instructions, these black instructions, are just laughably horrible for scene pieces. I can't believe someone would look at this and be like, "Yes, we're going to send that out to people to try and build this set." I mean, I know they're changing it, but it's so horrendous.
Wait. Jang's building a set that I had that same issue with, the Ecto 1. That was a nightmare building that. I don't know why they did that at all. Yeah.
I think they've changed it completely now, right? They're not doing that anymore ever again, ever. Right?
Yeah, I would hope so.
Okay.
I feel like there'll probably still be a few more sets that'll get it, and then we'll notice they'll change it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the appeal of like everything being in dark mode on technology, and they're like, yeah, it's easier on the eyes, but you can't see anything.
It doesn't work with
No.
I only read in black and very, very dark gray.
You have to have your Batman mask on for it to work.
Could have had one, sorry.
The cool factor, the trick to getting time off is just tell your boss that you have an appointment. It's open-ended. You're not lying. And they think it's a doctor's appointment, so they can't violate HIPAA and question you on it. 'Cause that's just rude. And if they do, then you can get some money out of it, I think. Do HIPAA violations give you a cash payback?
And then you find out that your boss watches the quarantine cast and you're fired.
Or he becomes your biggest fan.
My boss is friends with me on Switch. And there were multiple times towards the beginning of quarantine, I'm like, I'm going to take an extended lunch. And then I'd see him on there too. So none of us could say anything. It'd be hypocritical.
This is Lego therapy. So let's just hope they're not tuning in for Lego therapy as well.
Absolutely. So I know I kicked the nest with the Bionicle people, hardcore, and a lot of people were very understanding about it not getting funded. There's some rational people in these conversations, but there's a lot of people that were saying a lot of nonsense and trying to justify things by being say one thing or another thing or another thing. Unfortunately, it didn't get to the point it needed to where it's actually being produced. And it's not a knock against the designer. Like I said on Twitter, Sakota, nothing against him at all. I know a lot of effort went into the set and really wishes that it got made, but just, yeah. That's where I was at with everything. I did not end up buying any of these, so I was just kicking a nest to kick the nest. So I don't know where everyone else is at with these, though.
One thing that I saw a lot of people mention that I was surprised at is that you could buy 5 of each set. Is that right?
Yes.
That seems like a really bad idea. Yeah, I mean, it's no wonder that everything went so quickly.
So it's a bad idea, especially for Castle in the Forest, because adult Lego fans really want Castle, and that's just really giving fuel to the fire of the resellers that are going to pop it on eBay, and that's it. Especially, like, if we look into this Castle set, right? $180 had what? How many parts? 1,900 pieces, almost 2,000 pieces. So that is a really good value for what you're getting. And, you know, on the last quarantine cast, we're like, well, you know, this is going to be a custom processed model. There's going to be a premium. There's no premium. This is literally a standard Lego price to part ratio. Granted, no unique molds, no prints, whatever, but that's pretty good. So why would they allow 5 per person? And maybe if they allowed 5 per round, you could have, you know, you could buy the castle, the boat, the pursuit. You could buy 1 of each, but 5 of one set? That just seems ridiculous.
Yeah, I think the castle from the first ADP program sells for like close to $1,000, something insane like that on BrickLink.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, the demand for... I'm not sure why we don't get more castle sets from Lego. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
April, you didn't get this, did you?
I did not. I was asleep during the release, and when I woke up, I found out it was sold out. So
I was at work.
Yeah.
I was at work, and we can't shop online. So I didn't get it.
Jang, what about you?
Yeah, I didn't get any. Oh, sorry.
Jane or Jen? This is confusing.
Geez. We'll go with Jen, and then I'll say Jang Bricks. Internet superstar Jang Bricks instead.
I'm Jane or Janet. That's how I get auto-corrected out. let's go Jen. Let's go Jen first.
Okay.
I did not get. By the time I got there, it was like too late. Like, this is like crazy how fast everything went. But I would have purchased 5 for my friends because I knew that they would be at work. I knew that they would, you know, not be able to hop on when I hopped on. And so I can see the thinking there maybe, but it's just, you're right. There's scalpers is a thing. And so Lego investing, it's better than real estate right now.
Has anyone read the article on Jay's Brick blog about this? Because he had some interesting insight.
No, we only use resources from Beyond the Brick. There's no other fan media. We don't need to.
We exclusively use our own products.
Joe's like, wait, is that a rule? Did I buy it? No, you're right.
I was like, because I think this is good, so I might break it. But
no, go ahead.
So I'm assuming the guy's name is Jay, or it could be a woman. Jay's a gender neutral enough name. Was at the Recognized Lego Fan Media Day in 2021, and was at the Q&A session about the Lego Ideas and BrickLink team with the head of BrickLink and the vice president of the Lego Group to talk about these projects. And what he said is when they were discussing it, he was surprised by what they were saying and admitting. So he started like writing it all down. So to not take up abundance of time, if I don't find it in a second.
Joe, this is the second to last quarantine cast. We got time to kill, baby. Just keep going.
All right.
You're good. You're good.
Let's see. So someone asks, there will potentially be plenty of resellers due to the limited number of sets worldwide. Do you think that crowdfunding might be over in about 5 minutes? What will you do with people who are unsatisfied that they missed out that morning? The response was, blah, blah, blah. We were using previous data from our previous programs. This time might be different as we're taking great designs from Lego ideas. We anticipate a little faster corresponding time, but I don't think it will be sold out in 5 minutes. They sold out in 25 minutes. If that happens, this is a very happy problem to solve. We'll limit purchasing quantity to 5 for each account. This restriction not only is by user ID, but we'll also check addresses / credit cards, which I saw was a critique that people were wondering if they did that. So they did. It will not be simple for someone to purchase large quantities of sets. Blah, blah, blah. They go on. I can't find the whole thing. But essentially, someone made a point of, do you think that there's too little? Do you think that with the mix of purchasing quantity and there being a limit to 5,000 sets, people are going to be upset? And the response was, yep. And we are aware that people will be upset. But for every additional quantity we sell, the 5,000 people who got the set will be less happy. And the satisfaction of the people who got it will diminish with every additional sale we make. And that was their reasoning, was that it was purposefully scarce to increase the satisfaction of the people who got it.
Oh, they said the wrong thing on that one. That's the wrong thing to
Wow.
say. Nope.
Yeah. So I thought that was quite interesting, that they are fully aware that it was going to sell out and that people were going to be mad. Maybe this level of reaction was not anticipated, but they knew it. They knew it wasn't going to be pretty. So,
What a shame.
gag on that, kids.
Okay, so let's see what I'm looking actually myself. Don't share the screen. I'm just looking on eBay at the prices to see if I can find anything. I'm not seeing anything immediately, but these are going for definitely a lot more now. Castle in the Forest Lego. Let's see. Oh, Jen's gone. Oh, I see one here sold for 621 pounds. So that's not cheap.
That's like what, 750, 800?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, not a great price. So I don't know why they would limit it to. I get why they would limit it to 5,000 from the standpoint of they don't want to produce an overwhelming amount of quantities of these things, and they want to just have it. They would rather sell a definitive number than let it trickle and have an odd number or just whatever. You have it available for a limited time, but them thinking it would take 40 days for them to get to where they needed to was clearly a miscalculation, just a little miscalculation. And now we have to wait 36 more days to get the next round of stuff, or at least get the announcement of the next round of stuff, which when will that happen? Who knows? So
do you think people will jump on the next round much faster now because everything went so quickly?
Now
I'm recruiting a team. I'm recruiting a team to get me that windmill.
So
I'm taking applications.
It depends what round each thing is involved in. So I know for me, based on being an adult fan, what I'm interested in, I think the studio, the Seasons in Time calendar, the windmill, maybe the Space Troopers set. Like there's some in here that are definitely the highly desirable, like these will go immediately. And this one too, the Quest Builder, I don't care, but a lot of people are really excited about this one. So, and of this wave up here, right? The only one that's like obviously it's going to go is really this one, maybe this one, but these other three, they're going to go, but not immediately. So there's definitely more of these situations in this lineup down below.
Right.
I was not to discredit the flight. What is it? Flight of Passage? I think that's whatever it's called.
Pursuit of Flight.
Pursuit of Flight. Not to discredit it. I was surprised because what's the guy's name? I know he's popular. JK Brickworks. that, if I'm not mistaken, he's like shown the technique behind that build. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I was kind of
Yeah.
surprised because I was like, it's available for free. I am happy that it got sold. He's a fabulous designer, and I'm glad that he's getting some official recognition from it. And I guess there's like the novelty of having it in a box and it being an official set. But
this right here helps. This price, that helps a lot. For how many pieces? It was $540. That's literally right on the money. Like perfect. I mean, it's a lot of small pieces, of course, but right on the money.
Oh, it comes with all those planes. I didn't know that. That's quite cool.
So between the two, though, he had this one and the particle accelerator. I mean, not to insult JK Brickworks, but if you're going with one or the other, it's going to be the Pursuit of Flight. So I knew this one would probably not land, but I was really convinced this was going to shoot right to the top, and I knew this one was going to go.
Yeah, I'm stunned. The Bionicle. So in that tweet, Brian, or any other things you've seen online, what do Bionicle fans have to say for not getting that? Because that really is amazing to me. I mean, you've had years and years of Bionicle fans trying to bring the theme back and get something made. I would have thought like they would all just be waiting to immediately get that to the required number.
So there's a lot of people with a lot of reasons for a lot of different things, trying to justify a lot of different things. And I wish I was kidding when I was saying that. But some people were saying, well, it's not fair because the pre-order link was down, which is false because everything else sold out. So like, okay. Some people were saying the age demographic for people who would want to buy Bionicle stuff cannot afford to buy that set, which is also false because I've seen plenty of 18-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 25-year-olds spend hundreds of or thousands of dollars on Lego. That is not a valid excuse whatsoever. I've also seen people say it's not fair because only 30 countries could be buying these sets, which is also not fair, or rather not a valid answer, because those are 30 of the biggest markets for Lego and for Bionicle and for everything else. So like, that's not a reason either. The big complaints I'm seeing is that it's because it's not actual Bionicle, which is totally valid. And I understand that. If you're a fan of that Bionicle system, you're probably not going to buy this because it's not ball joints and everything else, you know? I think the price is definitely a concern, but it's also a 1,600 piece set. It's almost 1,700 pieces, or rather, it's almost 1,600 pieces. So it's a big set. It's on par for what it is. And there's also a bunch of other people that are just like, no, but I still want it. But like, no. So the response was all across the board, but basically people just didn't support it. They didn't want it to come to fruition. A lot of these Bionicle fans are a lot of talk. And as somebody who loves Lego and loves Nintendo, do I love the Mario Play system with all my heart? No. But I know that this is what we're getting right now. I want to support it with my money so they can make more stuff like this. There's a certain level of that when it comes to these sorts of things. And by this not even getting remotely close to 3,000 units almost globally, that is a clear indication to Lego saying, hey, not enough people are putting their money where their mouth is to buy this stuff, and it's not going to work. So that's why I said in the tweet, if you don't support this, don't be mad when they never do anything Bionicle ever again, because money talks, especially with a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
We're going to change the title of this video real quick to Brian Destroys Bonkle Fans with Facts and Logic. Just let me get John on that real quick. Go, Joseph. Did you have something you wanted to say?
I did. I fundamentally disagree with the fact that Bionicle fans didn't put their money where their mouth is. I disagree with that. I think that I've heard lots of people talk about this. I heard April, you and Dan discussing it. I've heard Brian talk about it. From what I kind of heard is it might not be ideal, but if you want to support Bionicle, then you should support it in any capacity that it's available. It's kind of the gist of the argument. But and then I think Dan had mentioned that don't see it as a Bionicle set, see it as a collectible. Bionicle fans will buy t-shirts, they'll buy shoes. Why won't they buy this? And what I think the differentiation is that the expectation that's being placed on Bionicle fans is that to prove their love for Bionicle, they have to buy a product they don't like. They don't like the system set, which is why they like Bionicle. So while I understand that this was a great opportunity for them, I do think it's kind of unfortunate that people are saying their one chance to get Bionicle back, they didn't pull through, when what you're asking of them is to buy something they specifically don't like.
Well, but Bionicle fans were very supportive of that idea's program, and rallied behind that idea's project.
10,000 of them were supportive to that level.
Yeah, not just 10,000 of them, but there were a lot more. You know, there was a lot of support surrounding that. You know, it was the mobilization of the community behind this representation of Bionicle itself. It wasn't just a system set to them, I should say, /us.
Now my question is, did people expect by supporting a Bionicle set that those molds would come back? I know that because, I mean, Lego Ideas says we're not doing any new molds. They've broken that precedent. They're like, we're not bringing back any, like they have all these different rules that they've broken. So what I'm curious is that when people supported it, some may have been under the impression that they were going to get those molds back.
So where I kind of fall on it is like with this set, it didn't even reach it didn't even reach like 1,500 pre-orders for this thing. It didn't meet halfway to that 3,000. And I know they cut it off at a certain point. They didn't allow it anymore. But where the bar stands right now on this set, it's about halfway, not even. So you're telling me out of the die-hard Lego fans, the Bionicle fans that are very actively involved in the scene, that want to see Bionicle come back, and then probably genuinely like the set and want to support it, out of this audience of like, let's say 25,000 people, only like a certain percentage of those people are going to actually end up buying the thing. Like, that's still a very small percentage compared to the global audience of Bionicle fans that would want to buy this set and see it come back.
And in terms of numbers, a fair number of those few who did, put their money where their mouth was, or mouths were, did pre-order multiple of them as well.
Right. I had one gentleman email me and say that he got 5 of them to show his support. Yeah. And he even emailed me back. It was like, hey, you were right. People didn't buy it. They just didn't. I got 5 of them because I really want to see it come back. I don't love this set, but I love Bionicle. I really want this collectible, and I support it. And obviously not everyone's going to be like that gentleman, but it shows the support is there.
And the final version that was put up was put up for pre-order is not that different. It's not fundamentally different from the original ideas submission that everybody was rallying, behind.
I'll make one more comment. I saw who was it? They made there it was, Abby the Brick Squirrel. Comments, perhaps they were supportive of it because they were trying to send a message in the only way they could. Perhaps. I kind of do that with the Zelda projects. I know they're never going to make them, but I support each and every one.
Yeah, and that goes a certain level, but when it really... So, let's say they came out with a set, right? For Legend of Zelda. What's your least favorite Zelda game, Joe?
4 Swords.
Okay, so let's say they only came out with a 4 sword set. Would you buy it?
Yes.
There we go. So that's what I mean.
But if they came out with, what's a game that I hate? Mario. I don't hate Mario, but that's an example. if I'm like, I hate Mario, but I want to show support for video game licensing, that's the level of differentiation that I see. Maybe other people don't see that.
I think that's too vague of a separation with that. But I think my analogy of is closer, being like, I support the Mario play system because I want to see more Mario stuff, and we get things like the NES. Like, that's a certain level of separation, but still keeping it connected.
All right, I'll concede. I'll concede.
So, no, I mean, but and for a company like this, like they're in the business of making money. So when the option is available for Bionicle to be an officially made Lego product for the third time, you got 3 chances, kids, 3 chances, and then it's not taken. You know, like.
It's true. Brian's trying to give you all the opportunities you can get here, okay?
He's speechless.
That's what I'm saying, you know?
I don't know if I've ever seen him speechless. He's speechless.
I don't know. Maybe I just think everyone else in here doesn't care about Bionicle as passionately as I do to like stir the pot.
I like Bionicle. I think it's cool.
I do too. I like the system. I like what you're able to do with it.
Jane has one in front of him there.
This is what brought me out of my dark ages. This is literally the set that brought me out of my dark ages. It was Bionicle. Ironically, I started off making fun of Bionicle, and then I was like, huh, this is actually kind of cool. Because I was like, oh no, real Lego uses bricks. This is fake Lego. But then I was like, this is actually really cool. And the next thing you knew, I was buying lots of, entire kids' entire archives from when they went into their dark ages of all the Bionicle stuff, and here I am today. I ended up coming back full circle to the brick, but yeah, I think Bionicle is great. The CCBS systems that they have, as a replacement for the parts, I think is great as well. The parts are still being used in mocks quite a lot. I would love to see something large action figure related come back from Lego if they could do it right. I feel like they didn't do Hero Factory right. I think there's a lot more potential for that than there is now for today's kids than there is for Bionicle. But Bionicle itself, as we know it, just needs to be enjoyed as it is today, and in amongst that very vibrant live community that's still out there making mocks and doing fan stories and art and everything. It's as alive as it needs to be, but all the commercial related stuff for it should just be allowed to fade away, and let's leave the past behind, this piece of the past behind, or let it live on as it is already living on, but not try to drag it through more of the pain.
Jang is the Luke Skywalker of the Lego community. Let the Jedi be in the past. He's just on his island with the porgs, just chilling.
What did he like? Throw a torch into the library of Bionicle lore, burn the Bionicle tree down.
It's like no, we can't do that. And then I show up as a Force Ghost. I'm like, yes, we can. Bam, and then it all just goes up. And you're like,
yeah, you and Ghost Thok can sit there.
Right. Yep. Me and Ghost Thok.
If I could make a Lego Masters comment on Bionicle,
sure.
Having to build big, we really needed to utilize the strongest pieces that we could. And the strongest connections were ball joints. And Bionicle has some amazingly strong connections that you can really do some huge structures with. And so I liked Bionicle before. I thought it was really cool and imaginative, and just I love the abstractness of it. But I have a deeper respect for their connection points. I have a deeper respect for the modeling, and so I actually have incorporated some homage to Bionicle in my greebling here. I want to show you. So I've got some awesome Bionicle pieces that I'm putting on this here because I just love the way they look. I love the way they catch the light. And so I don't think you just got to have these awesome, you got to put them in there. Anywho.
Especially to a monochrome design like that, they add a lot of dimension because they're very complex molds.
Yeah.
Yes. So I deep respect and honor to Bionicle, and I collect them when I can, when they're available for purchasing. And so, yeah, I'm with Jang on this one. We just got to keep alive with what we've got, but I don't know if I can. I hope they do something. I hope they don't bring it back, the old stuff. I hope they advance it. I hope they do something extra with it and bring something up level it, is what I want to say for future. That's what I would love to see, because those connections are super strong. I love them.
Spoken like
ball
someone who
joint,
hasn't
baby.
tried to build with the lime-colored socket joints. It's a thing. It was one of the weakest parts ever known, and it's kind of well known. They always crack right at the base. Just that one part in that one color.
Well, maybe it's because I haven't seen the line, because they're constantly broken. Maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, so when I'm buying used brick, it's not in there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Between the bricks over on Twitch is saying, what does STEAM mean or represent? And I believe, yeah, Mock is right. STEM plus A for arts. But do you mind telling everyone what that's all about?
So it's science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. It's a modality of teaching kids and involving professionals in the community, hooking up professional engineers, professional artists with current students, so that you can answer the question, why am I learning this? What does it matter? I think that's a universal question kids have. Why do I have to learn this math step? We're never going to use this. And to be able to show in the distance, yeah, you are going to use this. And so I loved teaching my math module when I was like, I had to figure out a 6-foot cell phone at an angle, and yeah, you bet I was using geometry. You bet I was using all that math that I learned to figure out this angle. Lego has math, and there's art that's involved, and so it's which way am I going? STEAM: science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. It's good for life. Very good for Lego. It just incorporates everything, so I just love it. So that's what STEAM stands for.
Awesome.
Were you surprised by the bird, Brian, getting in?
I was, I don't want to say happy, because that's not the correct terminology. I think out of the 5 that were there, it made sense. You know, I mean, the particle accelerator was one that I thought, hey, once you build it, how long are you going to have it on display before it ends up not being on display because of just the amount of space it takes up? And then if the Bionicle fans didn't show up, well, then yeah, the Kakapo would be the one to get through. And then it did. I thought about buying it in spite of Bionicle, but doing anything out of spite never goes well for me, so I'm not going to do that. So I didn't end up buying it.
Gotcha.
So, anyone else? Any other comments on the designer program? I know there's other spicy news we can get to, but anything else?
I don't have much else to say about it. I know I didn't pick up anything from the crowdfunding for this round. But there was a comment, actually, I will point out a comment from earlier. I don't remember who it was. Ninja with the Bricks said, constructions are awesome, and the mocks made from them are just as awesome. And I agree with that, like, wholeheartedly, because going to, which convention was this? Brick Fair, Virginia, 2019, seeing, like, all the models that people had made were, like, very nice looking. Like, the amount of detail using the different parts to make even more, I guess, stable and more detailed models of different characters and their own, like, sort of characters that they came up with was pretty nice to see that. So I do agree with that.
Brick Fair is the mecca for Bonkle fans every year. So if that is your thing, go to Brick Fair, Virginia.
Yeah, you'll definitely enjoy the models there.
And you'll see a bunch of people, including the 3 of us right here. That'll be nice this year.
Exactly right. Joseph, will you be there?
I will be there.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what I'm working on today. I have a bunch of old mocks that I have to repair for Brick Fair, because over the years I've like plucked parts off of them, so I have to fix them all up. Right now it's a electric substation. My hand's in the way. Here we go. Yep. That's what I'm working on. Nice. I built it with a friend for a train display. like a train convention, not a Lego convention, but like a model train convention. And I kept it because it's not like anything I normally build. So, and I've never displayed in town and city, so I thought it'd be a cool opportunity. So,
For sure. That'll be fun. That's at the end of the month. Good stuff there.
Right around the corner.
do you all have your custom tiles ready?
What, mine?
Yeah, for your brick.
I don't have any new products or anything being revealed or unveiled anytime soon.
No,
Oh, you mean the
Brian,
badge?
The
badge
yeah, for
ones?
the badge. You can upload a picture. I did mine last month, I think.
Oh, no, I haven't done any of that because the website is from like 1987. So I don't know how to navigate it.
Well, so it's one of those things where once you figure out it's super simple, but yeah, when you first encounter it, then it's definitely a little strange looking. But once you do it for a little bit, then it's really very easy to use.
Yeah, you should probably get that done because I don't know. I can't remember the deadline for when you're supposed to get the tiles.
I think I have something
really
uploaded
late
for us. I'll have to check.
Yeah.
Mine, because there's not two of me going, but I have a +1. I have there's a 1x3, so mine is a long Furby that goes down 6 plates.
Yeah.
Isn't that fun?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's gonna be great, Joseph.
Oh, Brian hates it. That's all right.
Oh,
I didn't design it to appease you, Brian, so it's okay.
Nah, Joe, you're being yourself without paying mind to what incredibly respectable people have to say about you. That's fine.
I have been told by staff before that I can't display my brick badges before. Like the things that I have engraved.
Only Joseph gets his brick badge banned from the show.
That is actually not true. So there are people who they are just, no, we're not making this for you, and then they get like stock images of like, I don't know, random things that are ugly. Me, they were like, this is on the line, so we'll print it for you, but you can only display it during adult hours.
Oh, wow.
Which I vibe with. I'm fine with that. I didn't have this custom brick engraved so that the kids would laugh. It's for me. It's for me to laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as Brian likes to say,
Speaking
April's don't care about kids. Brick Fair ain't for kids.
Speaking of having to make rules for Lego conventions, here's Tim from Brick Rodeo. How's it going?
Hey, it's going great. Nice to see you, Josh, and everybody else. Hello again, Jen. We talked a little while ago.
Hi, Jim.
Hi.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me jump in for a little while. I appreciate it.
We were just talking about some of the shows we're going to, and Brick Rodeo will actually be the first show that John and I will be at for Beyond the Brick this year. So I think it's really the first big show back for the year as Lego shows start back up. So for anyone, it's down in Houston area in Texas. For anyone who can make it there, or even if they can't, what's some of the things that you have planned for the show this year?
Well, we've got a really great exhibition and convention planned. Do you mind if I share my screen and run through a little slideshow?
Yes, that works.
All right, so let me see here if I can get this done. Let's see, we'll try share.
I gotta say, Tim, I'm really excited about this. This is going to be my first convention back from pandemic, and I am super excited to be there.
Yeah, we are very excited that you'll be there, and several other of your friends from the show. Hold on, it's making me do a little security thing here before I share screen.
Make sure the social security number is not on the screen, the bank account info.
Or, other YouTubers' email addresses, just anything like that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
It's telling me I got to quit and reopen Chrome, so I might have to duck out for just a second. Don't go away.
Oh, we see it.
Yeah, right as he disappeared, it showed up.
Oh no, technical difficulties.
Well then.
Can I share?
No, this is going to be fun. Like we are excited about this. Us Lego Masters have been chatting about this, and we are very, very excited to be going to conventions again. So Brick Rodeo And then right after that, we're going to Brick Fair, Virginia, and this is going to be just a blast, just to kick off the summer with Lego Awesome.
All right. All right. Well, good to see you all again. Missed you in that 30 seconds. See how the technology works now. If it'll let me. Okay, there we go. Undo a window. That one. All right. Everybody see my Brick Rodeo slide there?
Yes.
All right. Great. So yes, Brick Rodeo, July 22 to 25 at the Houston Marriott Sugarland in Sugarland, Texas. That is just outside Houston. It's a Houston suburb. If you don't know where the city line is, you're not going to know where you leave Houston and end up in Sugarland. It's a great area. You see a picture of the hotel there. Surrounding the area, it's full of restaurants and shops, a whole lot to do. So pretty easy to just bring your family for the day, come down, see the Lego show, go have lunch or dinner, all without having to move your car around. And free parking. Everybody loves free parking almost as much as free Lego, right? So what is Brick Rodeo? It's a Lego fan convention and exhibition. The fan convention is July 22nd, 23rd. Convention members set up their mocks for display. We play a lot of games. We do workshops and presentations. And a big part of it is socializing with other Lego fans. We see people that we know well, and we meet new friends and play a lot of games and just get to know each other.
Try not to look at Joseph's brick badge, all sorts of fun things.
Public exhibition, July 24 and 25. That's Saturday and Sunday. For the public comes in, you can see all the great displays and mocks that have been built by Lego fans. We're planning some meet and greet sessions with some of our special attendees, of which Jen is one of them. And we'll have an opportunity to work on a huge fairy bricks mosaic. And tickets are on sale for the public right now, brickrodeo.com. And if you're wondering what you can see there, I mean, it's a huge variety of Lego creations, all of them custom, built by fans. Got a sample here of a model of downtown Houston. Houston Brick Club is working on this, and we'll have that at the event. We've got another member who does a ton of mosaics. There's an example right there. We'll have, all the themes that you know of in Lego. We'll have castle, city, train, space, a variety of pop culture, Star Wars, Technic, got military, historical, just a huge range. And so a couple bigger possible layouts that you might see there, but we'll also have a lot of the really small fun things with a lot of detail that you get up close to see what's going on. And some of these will fit in the palm of your hand, but we don't really want you to pick them up. They're just for looking at. Like I said, we have some special attendees. 7 of the participants from this year's Lego Masters are planning to be there. So we've got Moto, Mark and Steven, Dawn, Zach and Wayne and Jen have all made plans to be at Brick Rodeo. And they're all bringing at least one, maybe more of their own mocks to show off. And like I said, they're planning to have some sessions to meet with the public and smile and answer a few questions. And Jen wants to, she can jump in on more of that in a few minutes maybe. Like I said, we have Texas Brick Railroad, a huge train layout that'll be there. Oops, went too far there. Any of you follow Rich Boy J on YouTube? He does a lot of Star Wars mocks. He lives in Houston. He'll be there with a great big Star Wars display that I don't believe has been seen in public yet. He may be hinting at it on his videos, but that'll be the first.
we were chatting with David Hall, I think, a few weeks ago on the stream about some of that. It sounds very exciting. Jay always does awesome work, so I'm glad he'll be back again this year.
Absolutely, yeah. I've seen a number of his big Star Wars things, and they're always fantastic. It's not just size. He's got all kinds of detail going on there, and it looks just like the movies, and you get some extra humor and some other things going on, so you can spend a long time looking at one of his mocks. And Beyond the Brick will be there. Joshua and John will be there. They'll be walking around, making interviews that they'll be able to show for all of us later in the year. Had one of our planned attendees. Robert Rodriguez did this little model that you see on the right of meeting Joshua there. So
That's right. We are very happy to have this as our first show back. So if anyone can make it there in person, definitely stop and say hi. We're always happy to chat for a bit as we're going around the convention floor and recording videos. It should be very exciting. I'm not looking forward to whatever the temperature is probably going to be down in that area, but besides that, I'm excited for it.
Stay inside. It's, the hotel is air conditioned. Stay inside. Just a quick walk across the street to a restaurant or anything like that. So no, you don't need to fight the heat and humidity very much. Oops, going too fast here again. A couple other things. Brick Rodeo is a nonprofit event run by volunteers, and we got a couple charitable aspects to it. We'll have, for the convention members, an auction, and then there will be a toy drive collecting things for Texas Children's Hospital. So members of Houston Brick Club in non-pandemic times have spent a few years doing displays and play sessions at Texas Children's Hospital. We got a really good relationship with them and try to do what we can to help out. And as I mentioned, Fairy Bricks is providing a large mosaic that the public will be able to build. They'll each get a normal 32 stud base plate and get a little plan, and they'll stick 2x2 bricks on it. They'll put it in and make a large mosaic. And Fairy Bricks also has set up their fundraising game and make a little donation and grab a random brick out and get a prize. So everybody gets a prize from that. Fairy Bricks gets some fundraising, and Texas Children's Hospital gets a benefit too. Great all around. Tickets are on sale right now, brickrodeo.com. You can follow Brick Rodeo on Facebook, Instagram for more information. I said there's also free parking. You can't beat that. It's not one of those where you have to go pay $15, $20 to park on top of the event. Free parking there. And that's it. Back to the beginning. So Brick Rodeo, Lego Fan Convention Exhibition, July 22nd, 25th at the Houston Marriott Sugarland, right here in the Houston area. Questions or information, you can check brickrodeo.com. I'd be happy to answer questions. I haven't been looking at the chat. I don't know if there are any questions there.
There was one question about, will there be a GBC Great Ball Contraption layout at the show?
We do have, yes, we do have a GBC registered. Off the top of my head, it's not one of these 50-foot long ones, but it is definitely decent size, yeah. Yep.
So if I could say
Awesome.
something as a mom, having a son in the hospital and having Lego be a part of that, like they would bring the toy cart around, and one of the toys that they could pick off to keep, they would actually give them things, was new Lego sets. And the amount of joy that little things just like that bring to the patients in the hospital, immeasurable. And so I just really want to put a heartfelt thank you out for Fairy Bricks for doing their volunteer work, and it really, really makes a difference. And so I'm really excited to be a part of their charitable drive this year at Brick Rodeo, and so Brick Rodeo. So I'm very excited to do this. So since we are flying and we can't bring like mocks to donate or anything like that, we're talking about donating experiences where we will build with you to raise money for this thing. And I'm just so excited about that. I think this is just a great idea. So hop on this, guys. I want to see everybody there. I want to get out of pandemic mode and interact with the crowds again. I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be fantastic. And it's Lego. It's all Lego.
Will Moto be destroying any builds for charity? That's really what everyone wants to see here.
Well, that has not come up yet.
Not on purpose.
Yeah. I think on our end we are open
I don't know. You'll have to ask
to any
Moto.
options.
We have to get Moto in here.
Yeah. Yeah. We'd be willing to talk about things. So thanks, Jen. That's good to hear. It's always a pleasure in other times when we as Lego fans can go to the hospital, and often we put on a display there that they've got a walkway where we put on a display, and they'll bring kids down out of the rooms just to see it, and it just lightens up their whole day, and and the staff there says there's just kind of a buzz in the hospital. Oh, the Lego people are here. You got to go see them. The Lego people, and it just seems to brighten up everybody there. So, so anything we can do like that to help out those kids, you know, no matter how bad our day is, it's not as bad as whatever they're going through. So, yeah.
Well, it's not only a fun toy, but it's colorful and it's creative. And you really need that creative outlet in that environment. And so it was just on the spot, perfect.
Absolutely.
I just love it.
Yeah. So let me follow up on the auction. So thanks, Jen, for thinking of the experiences. I think that'll be fantastic. If any of you, either the guests here on the show right now or anybody listening, has a possible donation for the show or for the auction, for the charity auction, we are definitely happy to collect those. You could send an email to customer.support@brickrodeo.com. If you don't remember that, just go to the brickrodeo.com and go through contact us. Yeah, I mean, an experience, I mean, even a video experience would be something fun for a lot of people. Or if you have an item or a coupon or, you know, things like that, you know, go ahead and let us know, and we'd love to add that to our auction.
Sounds good. So what are some of the non-public day activities that people can experience? Do you have games or anything like that planned? What are some of those things?
Absolutely. First of all, convention members will get one of these fancy Beyond the Brick lanyards here. Isn't that nice?
Well, that's the highlight right there. Yeah.
I mean, that's worth the price of admission right there. So everything else is just a bonus. We've got quite a variety of games and activities planned. There's some speed builds and some variations on speed builds. We have a couple of creative build activities planned. We have presentations. One will be on lighting mocks. Another one will be about landscape and trees. I believe we have one on social media and Lego and sharing your mocks. I'm going to be doing one on storing your Lego. So actually, I'm going to spin my here. So there's I got a whole system to storing my mocks there. So
that's impressive.
So if you want to learn how to use cardboard boxes storing mocks, I'll tell you. Let's see. We have 2 people from the Lego group that will be there. I believe Jamie is going to be there presenting virtually. Both of them will be there by video, not in person. Jamie from Lego Masters will be there, and Matthew, the designer of the Everyone's Awesome set, are both going to be doing a video presentation for the members. Let's see what else we'll have. We'll have a swap meet.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so just kind of bring in your extra stuff, and you can buy, sell, trade. We'll have some drafts of sets. I'm probably forgetting something important. Oh, a keynote speaker. Yes, Daniel Konstanski from Blocks Magazine is the keynote speaker. So Friday evening, he will be doing a presentation. And, you know, he's working on his book, The Secret Life of Lego. And so we're hoping to hear a few little nuggets out of that. Let's see. Is that enough, or you know, will that
is a lot. I think that you don't have to tell spoil everything for people. Sometimes it's good to be surprised, but yeah, that's very exciting. Lots of neat stuff there. I know Daniel's book is something that a lot of people have been looking forward to as well, so it'll be great to hear more about that.
And to me, one of the most fun things is just kind of the unscheduled thing. It's walking around as people are setting up mocks and looking at what they're doing and talking, and sometimes in the evening, just getting together informally to talk Lego or play games. There's usually a room full of a variety of tabletop games. Maybe they might not even have anything to do with Lego, just getting together. Actually, the first time I played the game Pandemic several years ago was at a Lego convention, and I enjoyed the game for a year or two, and then decided to put it away for a while. But yeah,
that's a fun game. That's a fun game.
It is a fun game when there are other considerations around. Yes. So.
Are you in a porta potty?
We got Andreas.
I love it.
I saw Jang is on, so it's an old tradition to just say hello. And I want to show you one very important thing in Germany here. This is okay. And if you're not okay, you have to go there, and then you are okay. All right? See you, everybody. Take care. Have a great time. And see you out next time. Bye.
Love you, Andres.
I love you so much.
Yeah, Andres.
I love Andres more than I've loved anyone else in my life. What is going?
So Brick Rodeo has real restrooms. We do not have porta potties. In case you're wondering, I'll point that out.
Oh, Andreas.
Oh, that is fantastic.
I hope that's his final appearance on the Quarantine Cast, and he just never shows up in a stream again. That will be the most appropriate ending.
Not a better way to go out.
Oh, man.
He only streams from a porta potty. That is fantastic.
But thank you, Tim. That is all very exciting, and we look forward to being there. We will look forward to chatting with lots of different people there, and as you said, recording lots of fun videos. So it will be great to be back down there in Texas again. I'm glad you could stop by and share some of the excitement that you have planned there for the show.
Well, thank you very much for the time. We look forward to having you there. Look forward to being out in public with fans and everything. Yeah, we are pretty excited about it. Jen, I'm glad you're coming, and all of your friends from the show, and looking forward to what you're going to bring. I have seen your mock registration, so I've got a hint, but other people don't know. So if you want to drop some hints, go ahead. If you want to keep it secret, that's fine too. So again, thanks everybody. Thanks Joshua. Thanks John. You were the one I was emailing with. I'll stick around just on the YouTube. I'm Timmy Owl on there, so if any other questions come up, I'll see what I can do to answer them. Again, brickrodeo.com for the event. Check it out. We look forward to seeing all of you. Thanks.
Talk to you later, Tim.
Look forward to seeing you, Tim. Bye.
Bye. Trying to wait. Oh, there's the screen. Bye.
Bye.
What is with Andres?
Live from the porta potty. It's Andres of Zuzamgaba.
I just don't. Never mind.
Oh,
you can't question
man.
it, Joseph. It just is.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get from him.
I don't know if have I ever spoken to Andres before?
You just did. In the porta potty.
Beyond that, I think
He was on the 24-hour.
I don't think while I was on. I think I dipped out.
No, Joe, I think I remember you specifically telling me you went to sleep because Andres was talking for 3 hours to Rock.
Brian, I told you that in confidence.
Oh.
Well, I mean, Brian has already told him
again, Brian, again.
No, I didn't.
You're just gonna have to make up for it this year. It's fine. On the 4-hour diatribe about the whatever Ultimate Collectors, whatever. Well, it's fine. I would have been asleep too. It's all good. It's all good.
I have no excuse.
No, it's just the truth. You know what? Just like Bionicle, man. It's just the truth. Speaking of the truth, if we want to transition to more news, everybody, let's have something to talk about this time around. Lego decided, you know what? I want to put something on the website right now. And they did that with the pickup truck set number 7. There's not even a 7 in that number. 1, 0, 2, 9, 0. There's no 7. This is the pickup truck, as far as I can tell, and from what videos I've seen detailing it, including the one and only wannabe streamer Jang Bricks. This is not based off a specific model of any kind. It is a unique creation. It is a 1,677 piece model based off a 1950s American pickup truck. Retails for $130 in the US and is available October 1st in the United States, probably globally as well. This is quite a little bit of a ways away, but this looks stunning overall, man. I was not expecting this. Any thoughts, anyone?
Of all things to actually keep secret.
Right. So for context too, the kids on Instagram were like, "Oh, we're getting a little DeLorean, and it's going to be this number right here," and then, nope, it's not. So
kids mess with my emotions, and I'm very upset about that.
That is so funny.
So
I'm sorry, Kirk. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Looks like he's getting that minion set after all.
So, oh no!
Yeah, it's a very interesting.
What is that gray thing?
Like a
milk. It's a milk jug.
Oh, got it.
You don't recognize an old milk container?
No. Oh, I do like that harvest sign. That's quite cool.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that being a sticker.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
I think it was on Between the Bricks. They were talking about on the Friday night show. In the rear view mirror, there is a sticker that has a barn on it, kind of like this. Like the truck is driving away from a barn. I heard talk of a UCS barn to accompany this pickup truck. That'd be pretty sweet, right? Pretty good stuff.
That'd be a huge barn. That would be massive.
Kidding, but,
I'm just imagining it. That'd be.
You can deck it out for any season you want: winter, spring, summer, fall. And what a random thing to toss up on the website. They just randomly decided that, yep, we're gonna do this right here, right now.
I like it.
Imagine if they had just saved this for the end of Lego.
Oh my gosh!
Nick,
I'm sorry.
Nick, we're not even there yet. We're not even there yet. Give me like 5 minutes,
one more
okay?
surprise. Here you go, and everyone would have been happy, 100%.
Oh, thank you, Milan. UCS Long Furby articulated. That'd be iconic.
So we have a bunch of custom prints back here. Lego print. That's pretty sweet. This is a sticker over here for the green farm, not to be mistaken with the red farm or the blue farm.
And that's General Hux who's doing the lifestyle photos there.
Yeah, shout out to General Hux for posing here. Good stuff. We also have UCS Pickle Jar.
Wait, who's General Hux?
Great.
General
Hux from Star Wars?
Fair.
Oh, it's a Star Wars character. Okay.
It's a sequel trilogy thing, so yeah,
UCS Pickle Jar. Anyone?
Brian, only Brian could get excited about that.
Strange.
Yeah.
A very odd choice for marketing photography.
It's called art, Nick. You wouldn't know anything about it. Okay.
It's just a reference to Brian.
Can we class up the live stream by removing the yodeling pickles, please? This is
no yodeling pickles taking over the internet. No.
Oh man.
Pickle Rick then?
That's even
Somebody
worse.
just posted a comment. Ben, I'd buy a UCS pickle jar. Yes.
There you go.
Why does Jane have so many pickle accessories?
It's a Twitch thing you wouldn't understand.
I wouldn't.
Why does Jane also have an inflatable pool and banana in his background too? There's a lot of questions to be raised with this.
That jar is just a reference to Brian eating the spicy pickles on the 24-hour live stream. Because there's so many designers that watch that stream. Of course, they put a reference to it.
It is.
If this is your foreshadowing, wanting me to build this for the 24-hour stream, I'm not building the UCS pickle jar. I'm good. I'm all set.
Mm-hmm.
So October 1st on this one, I will not be picking this up because I'm not a 1950s guy. Maybe Fazoom in the chat will be. He was 40 years old back then. He might grab it.
Oh my gosh!
Brian.
love you, Chris.
Brian.
So it's pretty nice.
Hi, Deanna.
Oh no.
So
oh no, that's for Deanna.
What? Deanna's always here. Why? Oh no, let's pause. Let's shout out everyone in the chat because you want to call attention, special attention to Deanna. Make her. We got to make everyone feel special now.
She's my friend.
Okay. What?
Nothing.
You're friends with these people?
We only give shout outs if people give money. You know that's how it works.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. Deanna, send me some cash.
$20 bill. No.
You know what? I've gotten super chats on this channel that were directed towards me, and I wasn't even a guest, and I've never received that paycheck.
There was never any indication that we would give money to people just because someone said that that's where the money should go. We've never once said that. We never planned to do that.
I just feel slighted.
Yeah, it goes towards Brian's Chipotle fund. Sorry, Joseph.
I love Chipotle.
I mean, that's if John and I even feel like sending the money to Brian. We might just keep it.
Well, person in the chat who just said I can't say hi to you. Apparently, I'm not allowed. Apparently, it's rude to address your viewers.
No, because
there's no free shout outs on this stream.
We have a paid shout out from Moto.
There we go. Moto knows how it
works. Oh, there we go. Moto made it right. Thank you, Moto. Now I'm not in trouble anymore. Now I don't owe Brian $5.
Thank you. No, my shout out videos are more like 30. Anyways, we have 2 other sets, okay, that were part of this random like throw it down on the table, and this is where we get into the conversation of why wasn't this unveiled at LegoCon? All right.
Do we have to start on this again? As I was barely hanging on to life last week, I have very few memories from that stream. But go ahead. Ranting about LegoCon is most of it.
We're gonna light the fire again, Joshua. All right, we got to get excited. The second to last one. All right. So 2 of the sets that got revealed for Marvel, not pertaining to Spider-Man, were Bro Thor's new Asgard. It is set number that has a 7 in it.
That's real?
Oh wow, I didn't see that.
It's so good.
That's
so
a
good.
real set. I thought this was like a fake joke set when I saw it.
No, it's real.
No, it's real.
Oh. Okay.
Kirk, how real is it? Is it really real?
It's really real.
That's crazy.
It's very real.
That's
what
crazy.
Is that purple thing?
Meek.
That's Meek from Thor Ragnarok, but also Okay, so I'll take the mic here. This is my area of expertise. Let's go. All right, so this is set number 7, 6, something or another. I forgot the last part of it, but we're going to keep going.
Look at Kirk trying to take the mic.
Hey! Look, it's new. I forgot the set number. Okay, we're not gonna focus on that. But this is Bro Thor's house with you have Korg, you have Meek, and this is based on oh boy. This is based on the scene from Avengers Endgame where Rocket and Hulk go to visit Thor while he's in, the place with his friends from Thor Ragnarok. Now, it's very crowded in here, and that's just because they're very messy types of people in the movie.
His stomach is printed onto his...
They are.
Oh my gosh, block me adding that to my sig fig.
Yeah, so Thor kind of lets himself a bit loose over time because he's devastated by the events of what happened in Infinity War, and he's just upset with himself. So he just kind of becomes lazy, and it doesn't go well for him. I do like the set a lot, though, because of a lot of the details of like the inside of the house, and then also there's a sticker for all you kids out there that like Fortnite. There's a nice reference to that there. Now, it is not an actual...
Any chance?
I think Brian can zoom in on it. Is he able to zoom in more or no?
Let me double check here. I'm going to go to the actual... These images here. Kind of, sort of, not really.
Yeah.
But it's right down there.
But yeah, so it's not an actual reference, but you get the gist of it because, I mean, they kind of have to show something relative to it since that was what they were playing in the movie. So you can see a bit of the HUD design from the game there. It's just not, as obvious that this is Fortnite.
That is if they did a Lego game of Fortnite.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right.
With the stud counter and everything
Right
like that. So,
yes, Jake.
Right click, open image in new tab. Yeah.
What a look at this.
Thank
guy.
you,
Are
Jay.
you serious? Are you serious? Look at.
Thank you, Jay.
Wow.
That purple thing's ugly.
I don't think it's meant about that.
So the thing about Meek is that in Ragnarok he actually has like a full body, but then after the events he actually loses his body. Like it's this like metal construction thing that he has with like knives on for the arms. It's interesting. This I kind of would have wished that that would have been what we had gotten, but it is accurate to this from the movie, so it's fine. But it's not bad. I think my favorite figure out of here is gonna be Thor, just because I just like the mold, or not the mold, but the printing for it. It looks very nice. And then also you got some interesting stickers there too, with like the newspaper. So like 5 years after the blip, which is a reference to the snap that Thanos does in Infinity War, which is also known as the decimation. Just a lot of intricate details for any Marvel fan out there, especially those from Endgame. So yeah.
I will throw. I don't think this would have been a good set to reveal at LegoCon, because arguably,
No.
like, if you've watched the movie, you know that they're primarily drinking beer in this scene.
Yeah,
So
no.
I think
Which
it's
is what all the bottles are.
on the end for it, but not a fitting reveal for him.
Well, Nick, it's great that you say that, because the next thing we're going to talk about would have been an objectively fantastic reveal, because
Please share
Lego also decided. What'd you say?
Please share more.
Yeah. So what Lego decided to do is they randomly were just like, here we go. We're going to drop more set news on you on a random Thursday. 3 Spider-Man sets inspired by different movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay. For anyone that doesn't want to know anything about the latest Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, turn your eyes and close your ears and put your head in the sand, because we're going into it. All right. 3 sets got unveiled randomly without anyone leaking it, without anyone doing any indication. All right. There's no trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home. So there you go. There's 3 sets here. 2 of them are inspired, quote unquote, by the previous Spider-Man MCU movies. And one of them is new. This is one of the ones that is inspired by a previous movie, being Far From Home, the Spider-Man versus Mysterio's drone attack 76184. These are all new figures, right?
Yes, they are. So the black and red suit is from Far From Home. That's a new figure that we haven't gotten. And the Mysterio is actually different. So the one for the initial Far From Home sets had a green, like a dark green torso. This one's more accurate because it has the gold, like armor that he wears with the dark green arms coming out. So that's more accurate to how he looks. The Nick Fury, I don't believe is new. I think that's the exact same one we got in the Far From Home sets that they initially released.
Right. Let's see. Who was it in here? Someone just said, why do they have... Yeah, Milan says, why do they still have No Way Home at the top, though? I'm pretty sure that's for branding purposes.
Yeah. It's kind of like how Star Wars has, like... So... I can't remember what it was exactly, but certain Star Wars sets, when they have a new movie out, they'll use that same sort of art style from that box art, and they'll still have different sets that aren't pertaining to that movie. So it's just to keep on with the branding so that it doesn't get too confusing for people that are kind of looking to get, sets. So that's why it's under that.
Donna in the chat says, I have a feeling this was a timed reveal, though. I saw there was a new Funko, too. Well, we'll get to that in a second. So that pertains to the new stuff. So we're going to actually skip over that one real quick. We're going to go to this one.
Saw nothing.
This one is inspired by Spider-Man Homecoming, 76195, Spider-Man's drone duel, which this is where it gets a little iffy. Weird. Because this Spider-Man is not in Homecoming. Vulture, the face printing on it is like a robotic Vulture. It doesn't look like.
Well, okay. So here's the thing with that. So we got that print. Can you see if you can pull up the the Vulture minifigure from the first Homecoming movie, Brian?
Yeah, you have to give me a second though.
All right. So with the first Homecoming movie, they made a helmet mold that was reusing the Iron Man helmet mold that doesn't have the faceplate that lifts up. So the design was just printed on. This one is more accurate because you have the actual like helmet with I can't remember the actual thing, but like the pilot helmet on him, which is what he wears in the movie. So that just adds more detail, which I don't mind that change at all. I think it actually, kind of improves the figure this time around. Yeah, there we go, right there. So that's how it looked before. But in the movie, it looks something like that, but it's got the actual like tubes coming out of the helmet. So that's the reason for
this
the
is an
change.
objectively better figure.
Yeah. So there is that. As for the suit for Spider-Man, again, that was not in the movie. I don't really know what's the, like the reasoning for it. I don't know if it's a concept art thing or if this is something that we're going to see in No Way Home and they're just taking suits and putting them in situations from, previous movies. I'm not sure if that's the reason for this set here, because the one for Far From Home is more accurate to what we see in that movie. This one's just like taking something that wasn't there and adding it there, kind of what we've seen before with, other sets from Marvel with like bikes that weren't there and that whole sort of thing. So I don't know what this is. Spider-Man's supposed to pilot the drone too.
Yeah. What about that drone? Because the drone to me looks like it's sized up with PIM particles or whatever from a model. It looks like a model that's just been embiggened.
So he can pilot the drone, and it then shoots out like one of the web things there. I don't
gold web pieces here, by the way. That's sick.
Yeah, I don't really know what's the deal with it. That's what so baffles me. I tried doing some research. I couldn't really find much.
We'll shift now into the actual spoilers of potentially for No Way Home. So if you don't want to know anything, get out of here.
Don't look. Yeah, don't.
Now, looking at what was released basically simultaneously to this, I think Lego was first, which is weird. But they have not revealed a trailer, a poster, a date, nothing. Well, the date we know, but nothing else. So they did unveil a selection of Funko Pops. Now you're looking at this figure right here, right? Looking at the Funko that got released, this is a part of that wave right here, right?
Yeah.
So you're seeing the Far From Home black suit, right? And you see this suit as a part of this. So that would lead me to believe maybe they're going back in time to the old movies and they're like, and there's different realities. Doctor Strange is also involved. So that is, I think that is a massive spoiler that Lego dropped that was not made clear in anything ever. Like,
well, no, it actually was. It was mentioned during, what was this, SDCC, I think, what the online or that like at home event that they did. So Kevin Feige made mention of like different movies that were going to come out, and they mentioned that Doctor Strange was going to play a role in No Way Home, which is what the title is now. But they mentioned that he was going to be in this movie.
I never saw that, and then I think it would have been a much better reveal for like the overwhelming public if they ended up having the trailer out and then boom, you see him there.
Yeah, that would have been that's part of what confuses me as to like why a lot of this stuff was revealed, especially with the whole Doctor Strange thing, and he's clearly not wearing his normal outfit, so it's like what's going on there. I guess it kind of helps to bring hype and attention to the movie more as like a whole part of like the marketing thing, but it's like there's no trailer, we're just seeing stuff kind of drop with no clue as to what's going on here.
And this goes into the final set here. This is set number 76185, the Spider-Man at the Sanctum Workshop. A lot going on here, man.
There's a whole lot, and I love it. I love it. I remember I was scrolling on Twitter and I saw a notification from this source that I follow on Twitter that posts like news and stuff, and they said these sets leaked. And at first, when I saw the thumbnail, I was like, that looks like something out of Lepin, because or some knockoff minifigure, because the way the cape looked, and I'm like, that doesn't look like something Lego would do. I clicked the link, and then they're like, well, here's the source from Lego on their shop. I was like, wait, really? And my mind was blown. I really like that they made the cape change because of how it looks. It's more shaped to look like the cloak of levitation, and then it's not all the way around the neck. It's just like over the shoulders, just like how it is in the movie. So I do think that was a great change there. The Spider-Man suit, not much to really know about it, except for when you look at the Funko Pop that Brian was showing earlier, it does show like the integration of, Stephen Strange's magic or Doctor Strange's magic. So I believe that's called the integrated suit is what they're going with for the name. So there is that. So we'll probably get more information on how that's supposed to work once the trailer comes out or once you see the movie. But it's an interesting design. I know some people were kind of complaining like, oh, why change the suit design again? Like, why not have him just use what he had before? But I mean,
merchandise.
That too. It's kind of like, you know, with the MCU version of Spider-Man, I've kind of seen it as a way where they're sort of taking the approach of Iron Man, like a bit of that there, where it's like he has different suits that he wears. And that's the kind of thing they're going on with when it comes to Spider-Man, which, I mean, if you look at the comics, he has different suits and there's been different versions of them. So it's not anything new.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the MCU is taking their own sort of style and inspiration with it.
What's this?
What's that? I don't know what that is, Brian. That's some sort of mystical beast that we will probably see in that movie. I don't know what it is exactly. It's something. That's to say the least. And then, speaking of that thing that's right there, he's holding Wong.
Yeah,
Wong looks very different from how we've seen him in the past.
I was gonna say this doesn't look like Wong. This looks like the face print looks like the bully from the movies.
Oh, Flash Thompson.
Yeah, facial. It just doesn't look like Wong. The Wong that we got in the 4-pack looks like Wong, but that does not.
Right. Right here. Hold on. Let's get this up. So
that actually looks like him.
This is the Wong right here, Joshua. You put that right there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that.
Looks nothing like that.
Looks nothing like that, especially with the hairpiece. So I don't know if Wong grows hair out of nowhere in this movie.
Travel.
I don't. That could be it too. So I have no clue what's going on there. I think it's a bit odd, but we shall see. Also, he's wearing this like very fancy looking coat over his normal attire. So there's that. It's like everyone looks different, especially Stephen Strange. Like it's strange. No pun intended there at all. But there was, I know this was a while back, the cast members of the movie, so Tom Holland, Zendaya, and Jacob Batalon, they all posted like movie stills randomly one night of like parts from the movie, and I think it was Jacob that posted a picture that they were like in a basement or something. So I believe that's what this is right here. And we're just kind of seeing it like in more detail of like what's kind of going on here. I know there are rumors of things that are to come with this movie. Rumors of, you know, Tobey Maguire making an appearance in it, Andrew Garfield, Alfred Molina, who played Dr. Octopus. Like, there's a lot of rumors going on. I personally don't believe all of it because it seems like it's too...
I do.
Okay, so I feel like it's too much going on.
It's not that, you know. So let me debate you on this for a half second here, right?
Okay.
So there's a lot of affinity for those older movies. A. B. Sony wants to be able to capitalize on all of what they've built up so far. Multiverse, they want to implement that because they also have Venom 1 and 2. They have Morbius. No,
Morbius.
Morbius. They have all these different franchises, and they want to interconnect all of that. And if you remember, the original idea behind doing the Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield was to lead up to Sinister Six. Now, they don't have the time to build up the Sinister Six with Spider-Man himself right here, right? Because you'd have to do 4 more movies with all these different characters. They haven't introduced Green Goblin or Electro or any of that. So what do? You just bring them in from everywhere else. We already know multiverse is a thing with Marvel, so why not just bring them all in? Bam, there you go. You got nostalgia. You got the Sinister Six. You got, you know, the older Spider-Man coming back. You got the MCU stuff all in one movie. That could be as big as Avengers.
So here's the thing. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying based on, you know, there. So far, who all has been like rumored to be in the movie? We've had Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Alfred Molina, who played Dr. Octopus. Jamie Foxx is Electro. Daredevil was supposed to be rumored to be in here. It seems like it might not be all of them. Maybe I feel like there's going to be one that's not in there, or at least it's going to be maybe half of that. It just seems a bit too much, especially with the fact, and I do think that there's a possibility that it could be connected. I'm not throwing that out there, like throwing that out the window, because when you look at the trailer for Morbius, there you see Vulture or Michael Keaton's version of Vulture at the end of that trailer. And it's like, okay, well, what's going on there? And that's a Sony movie. That has nothing to do with the MCU whatsoever. So there's the question of, is this going to tie in eventually? Like, what are we going to see Venom? Are we going to see, any of the other characters that they're introducing now with Sony, like spin-off movies? So there is the possibility. It's just, I think some of it might not be as accurate as people are saying. That's my thing, or my take on it. So it's really just a matter of time of kind of like waiting and seeing.
I think it's all true. I need hope.
I'm not. Well, there's a funny thing about hope. You know what they said. Don't give
I hope
me
it's
hope.
all true. I hope.
Look, I love the Andrew Garfield. Well, no, I'm saying that completely wrong. I love the Tobey Maguire movies. I enjoy Andrew Garfield movies a bit better now, based on just rewatching them and seeing also the reference from where they were coming from. But I grew up watching Tobey Maguire movies. So would I love to see Tobey on the same screen as Tom Holland? Yes, I would. That would be amazing to see that. And it's just a thing of, is it true or not? I would hate to get I think part of me is just like, I don't want to get my hopes up too high and then be let down when I don't see Tobey, come on the screen and say, hey, it's pizza time. Like, I would love to see that, but I just don't want to get my hopes up too high. So I'm just kind of thinking, I think I'm just kind of thinking about it in the most logical way of are they going to do that soon? I mean, what is this? This is going to be the movie that comes out before Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I think this is supposed to have a connection with that as well. So there's no telling what's going to happen. We just kind of have to wait for a trailer and some more details. And
Speaking of movies coming out, isn't Black Widow finally getting released?
Friday,
that
baby.
is Friday. Yep. Friday on Disney Plus Premier Access and in theaters.
Yo, I kind of want to go to the movies. Kind of.
I remember when with Quarantine Cast first started, and Brian was always ranting about how it was done on a hard drive somewhere, and why don't they release it to us?
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, that's a movie that should have been out a while ago, even before it was announced. Like, I think Black Widow was a character that back when they were sort of like teaming up making up the team of like the Avengers, sort of assembling that whole storyline in the MCU. I feel like that was a character that should have had her movie a while ago. I am not in focus because I was trying to show something earlier. But yeah, I feel like that was a character that should have been there sooner than now. But the fact that they kind of held out on releasing the movie as long as they did also is kind of a bit of a bummer, because it's like the movie already should have been out. And then you guys keep holding on to it. You guys could clearly make the decision to, put it on Disney Plus, which is what everyone was saying. Right. And they're just like, no, let's not do it. We're going to wait. We're going to keep delaying it and delaying it and delaying it. And I think even some people in the process kind of forgot about the movie and kind of were just like, it'll come out when it comes out, and then we'll just watch it. I was one of those people that's just like, okay, well, whenever it comes out, I'll sit down and I'll watch it. And then now they're like, oh, okay, great. Theaters are opening back up. We're going to put it in theaters and we're going to put it on Disney Plus. But it's like, you guys could have put it on Disney Plus from the get-go. Like how you guys were saying with like all the other movies that you guys were testing it out with, like the Pixar movies and stuff. But, there's nothing much you can do about it.
I have to say, I'm pretty excited to go see this in a theater. Like, I've missed movie theaters. I didn't realize how much I loved sitting and watching a movie until we couldn't anymore with the pandemic. So I'm really excited about this. So what do you think about the timing on this? Do you think they're timing it this way to introduce her sister to basically carry on the legacy like they did in the comics? What do you think about that?
I feel like that could be like a potential thing, since they are introducing a lot of how do you say, like a lot of the younger like Avenger type characters into like the storyline of the MCU. So I feel like that's something that we could see happen potentially. Like maybe they'll have her associated with that, along with Spider-Man and many of the other young Avenger like storyline type characters. I think that's possible.
Yeah, kind of passing
over
the
time.
baton. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I definitely think
Okay.
that could happen. So yeah. But yeah, to add on to what you were saying about like going to the theaters and stuff like that,
I'm
I
excited to go
definitely
see it.
do miss that as well. Yeah, I miss going to the theaters. I think the last movie I saw in theaters was wasn't Star Wars. It was Jumanji, the next level. Not a movie I really wanted to be my last movie, but it happened that way. Like that was not the movie I wanted to be my last. I would have been satisfied if it was either Star Wars and even to a certain degree. But a movie I think that I really enjoyed when I went to a theater to say like I would have wanted to go see that again in theaters was A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood with Tom Hanks playing the role of Mr. Rogers. Like that was a great movie. So yeah. Did they show the other thing, Brian? The other thing? Because you said 2 sets before we talked about the Spider-Man thing. You said there were 2.
Or yeah, there was a what if set, but
no one wants to. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Between the Brick says, "Where's Top Gun 2? Come on, been waiting forever." I too am waiting for that. I really want to see Top Gun 2 Maverick. I want to see that, and it's not released yet, and we gotta wait. I love Tom Cruise. He's up there along with like Tom Hanks and like some of my other favorite actors. So I really want to see that movie.
I have no clue what the last movie I saw in theaters was. The last one that comes to mind is the first Wonder Woman movie.
Wow. I saw the Sonic movie.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I don't go to the movies very often.
No, I get it. Yeah, I get it. What did you say was the last one for you, Brian?
What was it? Sonic.
Gotcha.
And then before that, it was the Playmobil movie for the channel.
Oh yeah, you did do that. You did do that.
I forgot about that.
You did do that. It was a whole video. Brian went to go see the movie, and then he did an entire movie review in his car.
Sadly, that did not get nearly the viewership that video deserved.
Oh man, I still have not watched that movie. I don't think I have any intentions to. I kind of forgot that it was a movie.
The Playmobil movie.
Side tangent to kind of put a bow on the Marvel stuff for now, right? We have I have a wish list of all the things that I want and all that. And
What's
I get
at the
all the
top of that
Marvel
list?
movie stuff. Okay. So we have all of the Avengers Infinity Saga stuff, Shang-Chi, Eternals, and Spider-Man. That's like $400 worth of Lego sets retail.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be broke. So like, let's dial this back, Disney. What are we doing?
You also have the Black Widow set, but that's been out for some time. But
A Black Widow one I already have from decades ago when they first released the thing. It's been sitting in a box.
Better head over to Brian's Twitch channel and make some donations.
Big money, no whammies, as I say. And there might be even more than just what's been announced. You never know what those kids end up saying or what Lego decides to drop on a Thursday. You never know.
Mm-hmm. I think there was also a thing. No, go ahead, Joseph.
I was going to say, imagine how us bottom row feel. I don't think any of us are, what's it, RFLMs? FRLMs? Oh, well, now it's messed up because Nick's on our row. Yeah, we got to buy our product. It's no fun.
Sure, you don't get all the minion sets sent to you immediately on release like Kirk and Brian do.
No one sends me nothing.
That direct funnel for minions and troll sets that I've set up to them.
Oh boy, So there was another thing too with the Shang-Chi trailer that released. I saw that Abomination was at the end of that trailer, and we haven't seen
stuff.
We haven't seen Abomination since the Incredible Hulk movie with Edward Norton. That's been some time. And then I believe the character that Abomination was fighting in that arena was Wong. So maybe that's gonna tie into so Black Widow's coming out this week. Shang-Chi comes out September, and then Spider-Man in December. So maybe Shang-Chi connects to the next movie, which is Spider-Man, because if
Kirk, when I do the raid train stuff on Tuesdays, to spite the quarantine cast being gone, you and I will talk MCU stuff. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
We got to keep this stuff up while the show is gone, because now the MCU is picking back up, and I think that's partly why they didn't want to release Black Widow when they did. They figured the shows would be enough trickle to keep people interested, and then the movies, like they did a whole trailer where they're like movie, all within like a 6-month period. This back half of the year, so I'm excited.
Yeah. It's a lot to talk about.
My wish list has like 17 items on it, and it's mostly Marvel movie stuff.
I didn't even know you were a Marvel fan, Brian. I had no idea.
Did you really?
I really had no clue.
Well, it's been so the Marvel movie sets have been kind of not as active, so like I haven't been as like boisterous in talking about it. But no, I very much so am. But yeah, since the pandemic, it kind of took a nosedive because interest levels are lower. But I'm a big fan.
Hi, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
You're muted.
Shouldn't he be kept that way for the whole stream?
Oh my god!
There you go, Nick.
To be fair, it's safer for me to be muted. At least I
That's
won't
true.
say anything that'll get me banned. You know.
Safer for everyone.
Oh, is that Smudge?
Oh, hey, look! I've said more words than Nick has
no.
in the previous hour and a half.
Is that Smudge?
It is. Get off my. Oh man, licking my coffee cup.
Hi, Smudge.
I just want to say, I think she is the culprit for timing out Deanna earlier. I went to make some breakfast and came back, and Deanna was timed out, and my coffee cup was still on the table. And Smudge is well known at getting up on my desk, so
Rest in peace, Deanna.
I'm sorry, but I'm thinking it was this innocent little face. Because it wasn't me.
We gave Dan too much power.
I did not do it. I did not do it. I'm blaming my dog for that one. Anyway, morning everybody. How you doing?
Morning.
Thanks for the invite back, Josh. I appreciate it, buddy. I missed you.
Oh yeah,
really
we
missed you.
couldn't leave you out on the last couple episodes here.
Yeah, I'll try and filter what comes out of my mouth as best I can. I will do my best not to say any naughty words. So I'm just going to be quiet and sit here for the rest of the stream.
We all can't sit here and be quiet.
April's taking it personally. You weren't here while she was on. She's sad.
I know, right? She is very sad.
There's been a lot of people here today. A lot of unexpected guests. You never know who will show up next, but
I didn't expect to see Andreas standing next to a porta potty. That happened. Oh,
it was pretty busy. I have been watching since the beginning. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Of course, you would never miss an episode.
No, heck no. No.
I've missed almost every episode the past month. I don't get to
what a fake fan.
I feel terrible. I watch it afterward, but at my office, I think it's called a repeater. I don't know, to get signal to the phones. Because no one's been in my office for like 2 years. They haven't turned it back on. And it's actually been kind of a mess. I showed up to work and they're like, okay, everyone back to the office. And mind you, I'm the only person in my building. I don't know where everyone else is. No one else is showing up except for me. Like, I prefer to work in like the pitch black, so I don't even turn the lights on and no one will come in. And then like at 2 p.m., someone from the cleaning team will come in and turn on the lights. And I'm like, oh, I'm here. Hi. No internet, no phones, no nothing.
I just imagine this like dark skyscraper with like 50 stories and just like you by yourself on the top story, just like working alone.
Just a light little bit of flicker from the computer screen.
I work in a converted warehouse, so there are no windows. So pitch black. There is no light in there except for like I have like succulent, so I have like a little light bar to light my succulent. So it's a really eerie sight, and it's fluorescent lighting, so it's not friendly either.
Jeez. Is it kind of green? Does it flicker? I'm seeing either horror or action movie bad guy lair. You know,
it's like eerie white, like it's like hospital eerie white, but it's just like a very subtle glow, and it like half glows my face. It's quite horrific.
Wow. Joseph's job is processing shipments to Area 51 in this warehouse.
I once said what my job was. Brian asked me, I forgot what it was. He's like, "What's everyone's job?" You're talking about dream jobs, and you asked me, what? Like, I forgot what it was. I think you made a comment like, "Oh, Joe must have an interesting job," and then I said what my job was, and he said on stream, "Wow, that sounds like the most boring job I've ever heard of." I'm a financial analyst, so it's not that glamorous.
See, doesn't that sound super boring to anyone else?
You can make it sound cooler, but I just didn't.
You just did make it sound cooler with your setting of the scene there, and like financial analyst for what exactly? For the revival of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something. It's like a sleeper for the next MCU Phase 5 over here.
I'm waiting for the jump scare.
Yeah.
It's actually for the creation of secure streaming services on ships. That's what I do. The installation of like super YouTube, essentially a very boring YouTube. None of the videos are exciting. They're very boring. They're like training videos and
on ships.
Yes.
So like they need to just like show like educational film or like films on
like if it's like a training is going on, they can live stream it inside the ship to all the things, but they don't want other people to see it. So
I'm telling you, this is either top secret government or shadow government stuff. Nothing here that you've said has not lined up with this theory.
The U.S. government would save a lot of money if they just streamed it on Facebook Gaming. No one watches it anyway. Just fine. It's fine. Just bam. There you go.
That's true. Sometimes I'll get recommendations, and I've never heard a single person actually mention doing anything on Facebook Gaming.
Or they could just revive Mixer, and Microsoft can just sell it to the U.S. government, like some proprietary.
Where do you think the servers went?
Right. I mean, not to put you out of a job, Joe, but like that.
It's just Ninja streaming exclusively to military ships.
He only streams Call of Duty. That's it. Call of Duty and Battlefield.
I'm sure the Navy would love that.
They would be ecstatic.
Oh boy.
I have this relative of mine who is in the military reserves, and I was talking to him the other day, and they have every year they have like a 2-week thing where they go out into the woods and do like training and different stuff like that. Much more than just their like once a month sort of small things that they do. And he said this is one guy who brings this like big briefcase with this giant battery and a Nintendo Switch inside, and the battery's like big enough to like run it for like 2 weeks, like out in the wilderness during this whole training, so he can have his Switch while they're training.
Speaking of the military, a few months ago, I saw that Joshua, you had like went to like something, and then you went to a museum, like a air museum, with like planes. And I was like, I said, I wonder if I can get, because I thought you might find this interesting, a tour of the facility where they build the presidential helicopter fleet. So I asked about it, and they said, absolutely not.
Do you know someone there, or you literally just No,
I know. It's on the base that I work at, and they were like, no, absolutely not. And then karma got him, though, because I was driving to work the other day, and the president's helicopter was like on the side of the road with like a broken down trailer. So karma got him good. Him not being President Joe Biden, him being the truck.
Jang was just like, what? I'm like,
now we've got a secret military base in addition to this building.
It's not a secret.
Oh.
How about a tour of Skinwalker Ranch? I know a guy. My brother-in-law owns that ranch, so that would be something, government ooky. That could be fun. But maybe your cameras wouldn't work because they would just all jolt out. So
Skinwalker Ranch. That sounds like scary.
No, don't.
I just said that sounds scary.
Oh,
like zombie.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's scary.
I know how to contain.
There's
myself,
actually a show
Brian.
on.
I'll have to look it up. That does sound exciting. I always think of like great idea because whenever I'm like, oh, what would be a cool thing to show people in DC? And then because Brian was asking for ideas, he was more saying, I'm going to be in DC. I need to think of things to do. So I was like, oh, I should come up with an itinerary. And then the thing that I was coming up with, I was like, Brian would hate all of this. One of them being one of my favorite public art installations in Washington, D.C. is called the Barbie Pond on Avenue Q. And it's this giant pond with all these like, those Barbies that you like shove in a paper towel roll and they have like just arms. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? It's an old lady
What is life?
It's an old lady thing.
Joseph, don't hurt me.
It's an old lady thing. It's like
what is it called? Barbie?
The Barbie Pond on Avenue Q. And it's this eccentric, very wealthy person because all the townhouses there are like $10 million a piece. But it's a pond, and then they just like dress them all up and like just shove them around the pond. And people love it. It is like ultimate fanfare. And recently,
I don't think we can show this.
It's that bad.
I gotta look this up. This
is so fun.
I'm not.
Brian, please get in the private chat.
Someone recently stole Dorothy. Someone stole Dorothy off of the display and then took Dorothy and smacked all the other ones around.
Oh, we're not showing the. No, we're good.
This is why Joseph hasn't been on his stream until now.
I linked it in the private chat for those who might care. Yeah, we're not sure. No, that's
it's a Barbie doll.
No, there's a lot of promiscuous.
Is there? Oh, if there is, then I'm sorry. The times I've been, it's never been.
Joe, this is literally half of their Instagram page. It's like
I've been like 3 times.
Barbie models posing.
Oh well, I've only been like twice.
Apparently not enough. It's literally half of them.
Joseph Sawada, though, right here. I can totally see how you would.
One of them is the Last Supper. There's Jesus here. Another one, there's a lot of pride stuff. There's a lot, Statue of Liberty.
Things being flushed down the toilet.
Thank you for not pulling a Dan there, Brian.
Yeah, because I totally value my position on this show for the past 58 weeks. I don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted.
Well, so anyway, you're gonna enjoy that, Brian, aren't you?
Yeah, I look forward to looking at scantily clad Barbie dolls in a pond.
Wait, I'm confused. Aren't these just regular Barbies? You said something about like putting them in paper towel rolls.
Okay, so a lot of them are some of them are like buried in the ground, and someone asked him in an interview, they're like, that's really expensive. Because Lego's expensive, it's a toy, so Barbie's expensive. And they're like, how do you afford this? And what it is imagine a paper towel roll, and it has a paper towel on it or a toilet paper roll, and then you put the Barbie in it, like over the top, and then it comes with clothes, so it like hides the paper towel. It's like a way that like people used to like hide toilet paper in their spare bathrooms.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
Just like it's just the waist up.
Yeah.
So it's like the waist up, and then he just shoves these like half like torso bodies in the ground.
Doesn't make it any more normal.
I shouldn't have brought this up. I apologize. I shouldn't have.
It doesn't help.
But it doesn't make more sense.
It's been a pleasure having you, Joe. Hey, thanks so much for being here.
Hey, Fazoom says his grandma used to
exactly.
make those.
I'm not crazy. I know what's up.
I'm very confused and disturbed
Kirk, click the link.
No, I did. That's
Oh,
why I said what I just said.
It's supposed to be goofy. It's funny. I think it's
I
funny.
get it. I was taking a phone call and I get back to hear people talking about Barbies and things being buried in the ground, and I click a link
Mario.
and I'm very confused. He has a beard now. Great.
Thank you. April's standing up for me. She gets it.
It's to me, Brian.
Oh boy.
No wonder this stream is coming to a close.
you know it, Nick.
Oh man.
The amount of crazy things people have just brought up out of the blue on this stream over these episodes. I mean,
I like that you added the beard, the neck beard on the side to really sell it. You know,
I can't believe
It's a
you
me. It's a paper Brian.
cardboard.
my favorite thing is going to be like, you know, I don't know how many more years that that John and I do Beyond the Brick and traveling to shows and making videos. There'll just be this time during COVID where like it's just like years of daily convention videos, and then these like year and a half where it's insane live streams that make no sense, and then we just start back up with convention.
Like nothing happened.
And then when people discover the channel like 10 years from now, they'll be like, what happened to us?
and then they'll see that Mario, and it'll all start to click.
There's only one guy that could be behind this. His name's Bricks O'Brien.
Speaking of convention footage, I know I've chatted with you about this, Joshua, but in my first Beyond the Brick interview, I interviewed so poorly that they edit out like half of the content.
Wait, really? I don't
Yes.
know if I remember that.
You did, because I remember I was like, oh no. I was like, it's really bad. I'm like, that beginning was really bad. And then I was so scared to watch it. And I was like, 3 minutes, that's really short. And then I clicked it, and it's like you cut out the entire beginning, like a chunk of the middle, and like because I remember how it started. I'd watched your videos, I'd been a fan, and for some reason I was thinking of when you used to interview builders one-on-one, like on Zoom, or then it would have been like Skype.
Like the old podcast, yeah.
Yeah. And so for some reason, that's what I was expecting. So I introduced myself. I'm like, hi, my name is Joe, blah, blah, blah. And this is my castle. And then you're like, is that it? And I was like, are you not going to ask me any questions? And you were like, no, normally we don't ask questions. You just kind of go and talk about it. I was like, oh, all right. And that's all on camera. There is footage somewhere of this horrific encounter.
Oh, no.
And then I was
love it.
I was like, should I ask him to cut that? And I'm like, that's so embarrassing. And then you did, thank goodness.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're not the only one who's done stuff like that. Sometimes people don't always know how to, especially the beginning. They're not always sure how to start it off. So I mean, that's fine. We edit or we just restart and are like, hey, you know, here's kind of some things you can talk about, that sort of thing. I think your interview turned out good in the end, though.
Oh, thank you. I also, one time you interviewed me and I mistakenly referred to what was definitely not a cathedral as a cathedral. I was like, look at my cathedral. And meanwhile, it's like a one-room like church that's like this big. It's not a cathedral. And then I listened to it. I'm like, why did I call it a cathedral? It's so
There's
embarrassing.
a lot of pressure to be interviewed, you know? It's okay.
Yeah.
But this is the real reason John edited that video.
Literally, yeah. He was slithering around.
So Josh, I told Joe that I would be the one to help with the interview at this year's Brick Fair if there is one. So,
you mean for like Joe's build? You mean?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Brian will be handling all Nintendo and Pokemon related interviews at Brick Fair.
I don't think
any of those.
I don't think I'm gonna have anything worth being on the channel. I had like a collaboration, and then we'll
let Brian decide if it's worthwhile or not. It'll be up to Brian.
Roger that. Oh, bye, Jen.
Jen's back in. We have Brett with us.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
Good morning,
Hello.
sir.
Morning. If it looks like I've just woken up, it's because I have.
Minion.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning here in Australia.
Oh, your
Well,
Lego room's cool too. I'm jealous.
Look at that! Just look at that organization back there, just
Wow.
showing off.
I'm literally in the garage here too, and it's winter, so it's a little bit cold out here.
Mm.
Oh, I forgot that. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
All messed up down there.
Well,
Messed
thank you
up.
for being here. You are the talk of the town for this week because you are the fan designer for the Seinfeld set.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
I've been very excited because everyone else has got it except for me so far.
That's true. I guess that's been officially revealed now, hasn't it, Brian?
It has been, and I guess I'm not legally obligated to tell you how I feel about it anymore. But I think the 9,900 people that saw the video certainly know before the Fire Nation attacked. So I was talking to Brent for a little bit about the set because he popped into my stream and I'm like, oh yeah, I hope that Seinfeld thing comes out soon. I'm looking at it built. So I'm having a little talk about it. But no, I guess what's it been like for you now that you have the set unveiled officially? Are you nervous on the reception of the general public? Are you excited? How you feeling?
Not really nervous. I know people that don't seem to like it are people that don't like Seinfeld anyway, so I kind of expected that. And Seinfeld's always been a bit of a. Sorry, my brain's just waking up.
Polarizing.
What you call it? Divisive.
Oh,
yeah. No, that's fair. I've watched the show. I've thoroughly enjoyed the show. So as someone who has taken an in-depth look at it, I've noticed a lot of the references and rekindled a lot of the love I had for the show. So that it's really awesome to see. And I know it comes out, I believe, the middle of the month for VIPs, and then probably August 1st.
21st for VIPs and August 1st for everyone else.
Gotcha.
I have a question for you, Brent, and if you can't answer it, that's totally fine. I think it's open-ended enough. This is something I've always been curious about. You submit the idea with your model, and then Lego works on it. Do you have any additional input after you relinquish, like after it gets to 10,000? Do they say, hey, here's what we're thinking? Or is it just they take the reins and you're not consulted any longer?
So once it's hit the 10K, you basically send off all of your, if you've got digital files or photos or instructions of how you've built it, you send that off to them, and then you don't hear from them until they either approve it or don't.
Okay.
But the circumstances now are very different from what it was, because I did Ghostbusters back in 2013 or 14. Back then, I found out after everyone else, basically, because I woke up the morning after it was announced to congratulation messages and emails and found out that it was approved. And I actually had to find out why people were congratulating me because I didn't know what it was for. Whereas now you get a bit of a heads up beforehand. And then the process of once you have been approved and start talking to Lego for Ghostbusters, I think I had a call the day after it was announced with like a Skype call with them. And they literally showed me the final box art, final design ready to go, and basically said, what do you think? And I went, I guess it's fine because I don't have any input for, I'm pretty sure by that point it was actually in production. But for Seinfeld, because literally Ghostbusters was back when I submitted it, it was during Kuso days. And Ghostbusters was the first ideas project under that new branding. So they've done, I don't know how many sets they've done now, what, 30 or something sets. The process is a lot more refined, and they've brought it under the ideas umbrella rather than Kuso. The process for fan developers, fan designers is much more integrated. So I must have had like 5 or 6 Zoom calls with them throughout, the year and a bit of development where I got to give input. We came up with ideas for new Easter eggs and things we could put in.
That's good to hear.
Make suggestions.
Yeah.
I don't know how much power I had over what I was saying to get in, but like there's a few little things I suggested, and there was one particular thing I pushed for which got in, which is not an in-joke or it's not anything amazing in the build. It's just something I really wanted to get in that I thought was critical to the look of Jerry's apartment. So we've got a lot of chance throughout that to be collaborative, and I send a few emails back and forth with Cesar Suarez, who's the designer of the project, just to say, oh, I've got an idea for the Commando 8 air conditioning unit that's in the window. Maybe we could squeeze that in, and things like that.
Do you feel like the design team had a good understanding of a lot of the references, or were you kind of guiding them along as a diehard fan?
No, this is something I had to check if I was allowed to say this or not, but the team who actually developed it, so in ideas, from my understanding at least, the people behind it who have each particular project have to put their name up. So they're all a part, like Cesar was part of the Star Wars team, I believe. And he stuck his hand up, say, I want to work on this project once he saw it come through ideas. And those, I think that group in particular, maybe there was more people involved originally, had actually tried to get a Seinfeld set done themselves internally. But for whatever reason, it never got done. And then when it came through ideas, they immediately stuck their hand up and said, I want to work on this. So they all know Seinfeld. They know all the references. They know just as much, if not more than me.
Cool. Yeah, Cesar Soares is incredibly talented. Now he's a designer, so he doesn't build as much, but I really miss his castle building days. He did these beautiful, medieval style buildings that they were always very colorful and fantastical.
Yeah, he's been great, and it's been great to work with too. He was on holiday there at one point, and I was shooting emails back and forwards to him while he's on holidays. We all come out with ideas for hidden jokes and Easter eggs we could put in.
It's fun.
Did you have any input on the outfits for the figures? Because I know those are from specific episodes, kind of combined and represented there. Or is that another design team's decision?
That was Crystal. Can't remember her last name. She was basically the minifig designer for that. And I didn't really have much say in it. I didn't really need to either. They just kind of took what I'd done for the ideas project and then just showed me what they'd done with it. They still went with that brown jacket look for Kramer, but added the lobster shirt, which mine was a bit more plain than that. I thought, oh yeah, I remember the lobster shirt, and I kind of got where they were coming from with all the little design choices with the characters.
Yeah, I think it's special when a team takes particular care of a set because they just love it. I think that definitely shows with the attention.
Yeah, I think it does. You put that extra effort in, and you really want to. If you're a fan of the show or whatever, you really want to put the effort in to make sure that other fans will see the things you've spent the time putting in.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the coolest things about ideas is what you mentioned, Brent, how the designers are always super passionate about it because they see a project that they love and then they try to be a part of it as much as possible. So it's not they're just, a random designer is assigned something and they have no idea, what Seinfeld is or something like that. So I think it's the perfect combination of, passionate fans with designers who really care about the project.
And yeah, as I said, with Ghostbusters was very different. I think Marcos Bessa, who designed the Ghostbusters car back in the day, he was assigned to Ghostbusters. And I remember having a call with him where he hadn't actually seen it. So he had to sit down and watch the movies and figure out what was going on. Because he was born in 89, I think I remember from what he said to me, which is when the sequel came out.
Bye, Dan.
Bye, Dan.
Dan had to head out.
So I'll pull it up here just for the sake of discussing it. And this is your. How many projects have you put up on ideas in general?
I think there's about 14 or 15 that I've put up.
Whoa.
Wow.
7 have gotten through. I was a bit of I kind of spammed very early on. So I don't know if you guys remember back when Kuso first was announced.
I loved Kuso.
It was back for Japan only, and they had that submarine I can't remember the name of, and the Habayasa satellite. And then it was only for Japan, so only people in Japan could vote, and the products were only available for people in Japan. And then as soon as it got opened up for worldwide audience, I had a bunch of mocks already made just for my own personal reasons. I just threw them up. I was like, oh, this is cool. You get a chance to make your Lego set. And I put up 5 or 6 at the time. And I learned from that lesson is that's not going to work. But from there, I kind of got an idea of what people would expect of an idea set. And I know there was a period after Ghostbusters where I did the Stay Puft Marshmallow Men for ideas. And then after that, I just didn't really do much of anything. I just had no ideas.
It's definitely a very cool program.
Yeah, it's like if you told me as a kid, like I literally wanted to be a Lego designer as a kid. And then we had, I don't know if you guys remember, what was it called? Dacta Lego? They're like educational kits of Technic in this is going back to like the early 80s. Educational kits of Technic, which were in this little plastic drawer that we had in our school. And we had, I think he was just a salesperson for this stuff or a sales rep come to our school and just, show us how to use it. And I was so obsessed with Lego, I asked him, what do you need to do to be a Lego designer? As he was leaving, he's like, oh, you need a degree in engineering. And I'm like, oh, I'm never going to get that. So I kind of just pushed that idea of being a Lego designer aside for the next 30 years or something. But being able to do this as a fan and submit an idea and even the potential of getting it made into a real set is a huge honor and something I think most people would want to chase.
They put the same face for George on Newman.
Yeah, that's a mistake on there.
I'm like, wait, that's not correct. That's not that I know because I don't have the set. I don't have any opinions on it. But, yeah, just a funny little thing there. Love the stage.
Yeah, they surprised me with that. That was the designer's idea. Just one of the calls, they jumped in and said, "Oh, we made this little thing," and I was like, "That's great." And it'd be a nice little thing to go beyond what my idea submission was. I think people really look for that little surprise, something beyond what the ideas was.
No, definitely. And I think I was saying to you that the price point for this being $80 US is a good price to part ratio. It's a good value for what you're getting part wise, and especially if you're a fan of the show. I think that's the perfect price for someone who is a Seinfeld fan but isn't necessarily a Lego fan. So they can get into it as like, oh, I'll get a Legos kit and I'll see what it's all about. Those kind of people. So it's a good mesh.
And I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but that's kind of where I see the market for what ideas is. And once I kind of clued into this, you can kind of see it in everything they approve. Pretty much everything Lego approves, more or less, through ideas, is designed to attract someone who's not into Lego. And if obviously there'll be people who are into Lego who will buy that. But if 10% of the people that go out and buy Lego Seinfeld who aren't into Lego, then hang around and buy Lego Friends or some other thing, they're just increasing their market base, and there's more people that'll come for the next 18 plus sets or whatever that comes along next.
Yeah, for sure. And this is number 36 on the ideas docket.
Yeah.
I don't know what the next one would be. Maybe up next would be the Globe or Home Alone, Sonic. So this is the latest in that line. So what is your favorite reference of every little sticker or character decal? Do you have a personal favorite?
The Kramer is pretty good, like the painting of Kramer and George's.
Yeah.
He's a glamour picture on the wall there.
It's on this back wall opposite the computer. Not that I know, but it's yeah.
I didn't actually build this until it got approved because I did the ideas thing 100% digital, but they've actually stuck fairly closely to my original layout. So even though like positioning of the walls and like the colors have changed and it's infinitely more detailed and packed full of references, but they actually kept the layout pretty damn close to what I did.
I think I love the Larry David reference on the refrigerator. That's a good one.
Yeah, no, like even the way the counter's built with the sticking out at that odd angle, and because I copied, there's a scale model of the actual set that came out a few years ago, and it's probably yay high by that wide, and it was a really good representation of what the set looked like because I think they designed that set to pretend like it was square and boxy, but just the way a set works, it's kind of fanned out and angled out, so the camera can sit in any position in the show and get a good shot of the kitchen or whatever room. And they seem to have replicated that with this scale model. So I just basically copied that.
Right, for sure. And so you have this out now, and you're also getting another bite at the apple in the form of the BrickLink designer program, having the seasons and time calendar, which I know you've heard me praise from the rooftops this entire time. And it's been interesting to see how that's all unfolding. So we were talking about that earlier today, and you were probably very asleep for it. But, the thoughts that everyone has had about what got through, what didn't, the numbers and everything else. And obviously that's a more ongoing, involved process with you. So I don't know what you're able to speak about with that, but you're at the point, according to the website, that you are test building as of May 6th, 2021. And we don't know when your project or others would be involved for future crowdfunding. But if you could talk about, I guess, what that process has been like and where you're at with it.
Yeah, I think it's been kind of discovering their feet as they go with this. From what I understand, the original BrickLink, what do they call it, the ADP, AFOL design program, I think the designs were more or less finalized when they were submitted to that program. So back then, fans submitted designs that were chosen, and then from there they were just kind of put out for development. Whereas here, going through ideas, like I worked completely digitally for Seasons in Time, and I assume some other people did for their projects as well, or they were just, some of those projects are really old, like some of those projects on there from Kuso days. And the redeveloping you have to do now, we can only use pieces that are currently in the Lego palette, so in production right now in the 2020 2021 production pipeline. So these pieces are being produced 4 sets. We can't get new colors, we can't get pieces that have been out of production, so we have to adapt. So that's something we've all had to do internally. So unlike the ADP, I think the BrickLink team put together all the instructions and steps and everything. We have to do that on our side. And having, I think there was originally 32 projects or something in this one. I think just managing that may have been a bit too much for them to bite off and chew in one bite. So I think they're kind of just learning as they go that, originally it was going to be all of them at one time, and now it's been split up into 3 phases. And now they're learning that the demand is obviously higher than what they expected, or maybe I think you can buy 5 per project per person. So maybe that's a bit too high because some people are missing out.
You said you have to design your own instructions?
Yeah, so basically we use Studio, the BrickLink Studio, and we just basically have to provide steps for instructions, which the BrickLink team is following. So you said mine's in test building right now. That's what they've done. They're taking my instructions, giving feedback on those instructions, and mine's been built, and I'm got like 2 minor pieces of feedback, but that's BrickLink doing that. So I think there's a few steps it has to go through. I think maybe Lego builds it as well to make sure it's all up to standard, and they can, I don't think they'll be putting their name on it, but so they can at least know that it's, stable and not going to fall apart, and present their brand well. So that's where mine's at. Mine's currently in test building. I know it's been built. I've seen pictures of it, but I don't know what that means for when that will be coming to the designer program crowdfunding, because I submitted those files 2 months ago now, and I've only just seen that they've built it because they've been so busy with this first round.
Gotcha. No, and I think you have some of the best presentation of anyone that, like, this video in itself, just like with the 3D renders and the lighting and everything, the presentation's excellent. And I think a lot of people were caught off guard by the pricing for the castle specifically, thinking it was going to be a little bit higher than it was. You also had just really kind of across the board different values and whatnot. So I know that this is a 3,000 piece model, 493 unique parts. So is that something you kept in mind with this this model? Do you think that adding more of these vignettes would deter from, you know, people wanting to spend that much money, or like you're just like, no, I want to make this the most articulate and crazy thing I can?
Well, it's kind of, I've been hoping for feedback on, should I cut back? Should it maybe, you know, I could remove Valentine's Day or something like this, just trying to bring the number down. I've just noticed, this is not official BrickLink information or anything, but I just noticed with the first ADP and the ones that have been done in this crowdfunding, the part count seems to average about 9-10 cents a piece. So I've just been keeping that in mind, and that's kind of what I expect, you know, the price range for the calendar to be when it gets revealed. That's not information they've told me. We don't find out until, you know, it launches, basically, what the price is.
Really?
But I've been trying to keep the piece count down, but I've also been trying to make it more interesting than what it was in the ideas project I had. So I was very hesitant to put too many pieces in the ideas program. So like I had one scene that would change over the seasons, and then you would reuse the pieces in each change to try and keep the part count down. Was I kind of, one of the first things I said when we went into the BrickLink designer program was, how do I present that instructions wise to pull some things off and then add other bits? And they say, don't, just add the extra parts for all those different seasons. And then people just pull one apart and push one aside and just build the next one. Well, I thought, well, the only reason I did that was to save parts. If I knew didn't need to do that, I could make completely different ones for probably less parts, and it actually turned out to be less parts per vignette and more interesting things. I could get more variety for people, so I ended up just redesigning the whole thing so there was no reuse of parts between it, and then that allowed more variety for less parts.
Right. And I think it makes it a more dynamic build overall. You know, when a lot of people build a Lego set, it ends up being on display for a little while, and then maybe you take it apart or gets put away. But this one, at least, you know, when it does come time for Valentine's Day, you can build that and replace the top of it, or Christmas or springtime, whatever. I think I really like that aspect of it. Makes it more dynamic. So I think it was a great choice to go with personally, even if it does make the part count a little bit more higher. But then you also run into the issue with these parts, you know, they don't necessarily all fit in the drawer, right? No. So, you know.
Yeah, and it is less parts than what it would have been if I'd stuck with the old design. And like stepping back from the idea in retrospect, if someone was to buy this and stick it on their shelf for all throughout the year and change the seasons, they're probably not going to want to just slightly change a vignette after 3 or 4 months of having it on display. They're probably going to want to sit down and build something a bit more substantial and different each time.
Right, that makes sense.
And as for the rendering, it was all done by Mechabricks, which is Mechabricks. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like Lego Digital Designer or Studio, but on a web-based format. And I still built most of this in Lego Digital Designer at the time, and then you can import into Mechabricks. And the only reason I did that is only because the rendering is so good. Like, you can render directly in Mechabricks, but I actually exported out into Blender, and then I can add my own lights and tweak things a bit more. And that's what spurred me to make Seinfeld, because there's two things that spurred me to make Seinfeld. One was jealousy, because like, why did Friends get a Lego set before Seinfeld? It's a perfect, like, that's a George Costanza move. Like, why has he got one? I don't have one. So basically that was one reason. And the other reason was with Mechabricks, I could use any piece in any color that doesn't exist. I don't have to source the parts. I can build it digitally, have the freedom to make it exactly how I want to make it. And particularly with the minifigs, that's really hard to do physically. With Ghostbusters, I bought water slide decals and printed out the little faces and torsos and stuck them all on. It took me, weeks of work. Whereas with Mechabricks or any digital format, you can just do it in Photoshop, slap it on the characters, and have it look great instantly.
Do you have a favorite vignette that you designed?
I don't know. I do like the autumn one, just the colors of it for some reason. But it's hard to choose. I know I have a least favorite. I don't really like the Valentine's Day one.
Really?
Well, it's mainly because they're, and this is another thing that we found out through the designer program, the minifig parts are very limited to what's in production right now. And I had a little Cupid, which Lego's never really done a Cupid as far as I'm aware in Lego form. And I thought that'd be great. People will get a little Cupid. And I just wasn't able to piece together one in any form for Valentine's Day. And that was kind of the whole idea behind that one. Whereas now it's just a heart with some flowers. And I'm like, it's kind of a bit lacking.
Yeah, I like it. I like the flower vases. I think that flushes.
I think it's a bit more minimalist compared to some of the others. It's just a different vibe.
Yeah.
But it's not bad.
But it gives you lots of variety. So I do like the Chinese New Year one as well.
Yeah, that's great.
That's very good.
And I've built
I
a
could
list.
see changing the Valentine's one, adapting the Valentine's one personally for like my wedding anniversary or something like that. Because I see that you have like a birthday, and I love that, and I love the flowers and the vases, and so this Valentine's Day, it could be more than just February 14th. I could see your set really inspires people to adapt and change, kind of accommodate what make it personal, and I love that. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, what
that's
if
the thing about
simple? It looks good.
That's the thing about the project too. I look forward to seeing if it gets made. I look forward to seeing what other people make with it, and I get a lot of comments of people going, "Oh, you should include this holiday and this holiday." And I'm like, the idea is to spur you to create your own thing. So I didn't put anything that I thought was too regional. Like I didn't put 4th of July or Australia Day, or we have one called Anzac Day in here in Australia. I didn't want to do too much of that. I wanted to be fairly broad and cover most bases. Like we have a fairly big Asian population in Australia, so Chinese New Year's in there. I'm sure there is in America as well. You've got Chinatown, I think, in just about every city in Australia as well. So that was kind of spreading the bases and try not to be too religious centric or specific to that type of thing. We don't really celebrate Halloween in Australia, but I love Halloween, so I put it in anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see for Valentine's Day to add on to that, if someone made either a little platform right here where you could put 2 minifigures for an anniversary or just to celebrate love in any way, or if you got the BrickHeadz for like, for marriage, you put one here, one there, that would be perfect as well. You got to modify this a little bit, but this one leaves a lot of opportunity, like you said, Jen, to modify it and make it your own for sure. So that I think that's where the beauty of that one comes in compared to some of these other ones that are a bit more specific that way.
The shaping of the heart is beautiful. You did a fabulous job with that.
Thanks for
It's
that.
actually round for Lego too.
It looks really good.
It actually, I can see there's a line, I think it's a 1x12 or 14, sort of halfway along there. From that point, the whole build is flipped upside down. So the bottom's flipped, and then there's a plate at the back, which is stuck sideways that joins it all together.
Love it.
So do you still want to be an official Lego designer? Because at this point, it would just kind of save them the hassle of constantly.
It kind of would actually. Like,
I mean, I'd love to, but I've got family and kids here in Australia. I'm one of the business owners of the company I work at. It's kind of very difficult at my age. I'm 42 to just pack up and move to Denmark for probably less pay.
It's true.
Well, that's the exact same position that I'm at with Beyond the Brick, right? I don't want to be in charge, get a little contributions here and there, sprinkle it throughout where necessary, and then you walk away. Like you got other stuff to do, It's just that's what it is. That's what it is. You got other stuff going on,
Speaking of leaving a job for Lego, when Lego Master Season 1 came out, my boss, I had multiple bosses, and then my boss's boss be like, "Why didn't you apply?" Or they asked if I did, and I was like, "No." And then they're like, "Well, you should have." I said, the filming and blah blah blah, and I'm new to this job and I just got a new project, and they're like, "Okay," and I'm like, "Well, I'd have to quit." And they're like, "Okay," and which I was like, first thing, that is so rude to just be like, "Okay, quit." And then my boss was like, "No," he's like, "It's just like you're young enough where it doesn't really matter. He's like, oh wow, you quit a job you've been at for 4 months, like big whoop. And I was like, I don't know if you want to tell your new hires just leave. We don't need you.
So that's kind of a good question for Jen then, as someone who's been on the show and you had to walk away from your life wherever it stood in that moment. What was that like? You have to make all these calls and be like, hey, I'm out. See ya. Like, what was that like?
Well, I kind of had a lead in. So I knew that I needed to clear, 7-8 weeks for filming. And I was actually going to be on season 1. And so I was ready. Everything was cleared out. I put a stop to some bills, right? I mean, everything was ready to go. And work and everything was lined up. And then right as that happened, my son got cancer. And so I literally just popped my son into that open schedule. And so it worked out beautifully for me and my family to withdraw out of Lego Masters at that time and come back for season 2. But as far as like putting your life on hold, yeah, everything stops. It's more than just the film time. You have lead up time that you have to dedicate as well. And it really is a time hog. It takes a lot of focus and energy to get all of that. There's a lot of tasks to do, but props to Jacob and Caleb. They were still doing homework for school because Caleb just graduated, right? And he did that while filming Lego Masters season 2. And so props to them. It's not easy, but you have to do what you want to do. And honestly, as a boss that did hiring, I would absolutely have encouraged my new hires to go. This is an experience. Your job resume should be about experiences, right? And so that's a good reason to leave a job, is to go have this awesome experience. And so I would have encouraged that as your boss, but I can't speak for all bosses.
Yeah, I chatted with the casting folks, and I was like, oh, like for season 1, I told them I can't do it, and then for season 2, when they reached out, I was like, I just can't do it with work. And they're like, well, we'll let you work. Which I'm like, first thing, the casting person can say whatever they want. I don't know, like, I'm like, sure, I'll do it. And then I show up, and then they're like, you're sequestered. You can't bring a laptop in here. Because I was like, they're like, yeah, you can work. We can give you like 6 hours a day working time, blah, blah, blah. You can work during your lunch. I'm like, that sounds miserable. I'm like, absolutely not. And then they're like, you have 6 hours, like, we'll give you 6 hours to work. I'm like, are those the hours I'm supposed to be sleeping? Like, yeah, I was like, I don't think this is going to work out in my favor.
No, you really have to take time off. Like, legit, you have to take time off because it is, you're going to want to put all your energy towards it. So I imagine there's going to be a season 3, a season 4. So do plan for it. Apply again. This would be like worth it. Absolutely worth it. But as far as time, there's no way. Like, I brought an entire suitcase, not a carry-on, and under the huge suitcase of Lego, just all Lego. And I use that to study. And so whatever time they gave us to sleep, I cut in half. So if we had 8 hours, I would cut it in half and I would study for 4 and then I would sleep for 4. And a couple times we only had 6. So I can't imagine doing work, trying to work that in. You're not sequestered. You do have laptop on your off time, but we were quarantined and we are, we have to be in location constantly for that filming time. I don't know how Caleb and Jacob graduated, dude. Not enough time. I don't know. You couldn't work. I don't think so.
Yeah, speaking of seasons 3 and 4, I think it was in one of Boone Langston's live streams. I said, I'm waiting for season 6 when all the talent is gone and it's all just like reality trash. Like when the show starts going real downhill, it's my time to shine, baby. I'm like, I'll go in, I'll fight people. I'll be knocking over people's builds. And then they can't eliminate me. They'd have to eliminate me like third or fourth from the top because they got to keep the the messy folks in there.
The ratings have to stay up.
Yeah.
I think me and Nick make for a good season 3 US. Like a solid,
Yeah, solid 10th place. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
I would love to see like an all-star season where they have like people from past seasons come back. I want to have enough seasons where maybe we have like a team up, like somebody from season 1 joins your team to help you build your build, but everybody else has somebody teaming up from other seasons. I think that would be really fun. I'm not
Jake
trying to give out
10th with the season of 9 teams.
Yeah, I wanted to see that for like a worldwide one where the winners from Australia and Belgium and Denmark and all these other countries have a face-off.
So Brent,
that would be awesome.
You haven't been on Lego Masters, right?
No, I auditioned with Cade, one of the winners of season 1, and pulled out.
Like, but you've designed actual Lego sets, so wouldn't that be cheating?
I kind of feel that too. Like, I can't do it because of work, but I kind of feel like I've had my 15 minutes. You know, I've got 2 Lego sets now made. I worked on the Lego Batman movie. Like, I've had my 15 minutes of fame. I do feel like it's a little bit cheating if I was to go on. Not that I'm thinking I would win.
Can I talk about 15 minutes of fame?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You mean how we edited out all your 15 minutes?
Literally. But so every year, Beyond the Brick has like a collection of memes that they post like once a year. And sometimes they'll post one that is like my meme. And normally the response is, because I read all the comments, I'm not supposed to. I know I'm not a professional. So I read every single comment. And every time you've posted it, the response has been good. Until this year. You posted it, and the people in the comments were not having it. They weren't having me. It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to do anything about it. I just thought it was so funny because it's like a build that I did. And then all the comments are like, oh, people like him are the reason why Lego's so expensive these days. Oh yeah, me. It's like, oh, people like him are the reason why like BrickLink, I can never find what I want on BrickLink. And then people being like, oh, well, isn't it nice to have someone pay for your hobby and to have unlimited resources? I'm like, excuse me. I'm like, that is so rude. And then you have people being like, my child could build that. I'm like, no, your child can't. Like, like, no, they can't. These people, so many comments. It's like, oh, because it's like what I build, what other people build. And people are like, well, that one at the bottom looks like it'd be more fun to play with. His looks like the thing that you can't enjoy. It's like, it's not a toy. Lego's a toy. This isn't a toy. How do you play with that? I'm like, oh, hush.
I did not realize that because I know we've posted that meme different times. I didn't realize there had been such a negative response on the last.
Maybe it was the time of day. I don't know. Maybe Mercury was in retrograde. The stars were unaligned. I don't know, but the folks were not having it. They did not like it. I thought it was amusing. So keep it up. Keep the comments up. That's funny.
Can you screen share that meme real quick, Joseph? I don't know if you have it somewhere.
I don't have it available. Let me.
Okay, that's fine.
Let me try
for anyone who hasn't seen it.
We don't need to show it. We don't need to show it. I said that to make a self-deprecating joke about people hating me, not to call attention to myself.
Your build does have the distinction of being the only time we've been on Facebook trending, which I don't even know if is that still a thing. I don't know if that is still a thing, that Facebook has like a trending page like Twitter has. I'm not sure if they still do that or not. But the only time Beyond the Brick was ever on there is when we covered your castle.
It was me and Emma Watson, both iconic beauties.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, your fans did not appreciate it.
Well,
Brian talks about it all the time. Parents love overestimating their kids' abilities.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like a hobby.
Every child is full of wonder and possibilities.
Every Declan out there can build. Every little Declan.
I mean, I guess that's good. Like, as a parent, I suppose should have this like view of your children. Like, Brent, do you have kids?
Yeah, I've got 2 kids.
Yeah, so I mean, I suppose you want to have that view of your child where it's like they can achieve all these things. It's better than being like, no, there's no way my kid could ever do that. They're not going to amount to anything.
It depends. Like, I keep telling my daughter, she's 12 now. She's probably the better Lego builder out of my 2 kids. And I keep telling her, like, I can't do like they keep saying every season, do Lego Masters, do Lego Masters. Like, I can't. I was like, when you turn 18, I'll do it with you. And I'm sure the producers will love that, a father-daughter team. if she's still into Lego at that point. But my son is just, he's not a good Lego builder.
That's
you're,
the thing.
you're not even.
No, go ahead, Josh.
Don't even sugarcoat it. You know, it's just.
I'm fine with people like pumping their kids up, but not to my detriment. To your detriment, sure. To anyone else's detriment, I don't care.
Obviously, you don't have to tear other people down. When
like it's mad rude. It's mad disrespectful.
And then yeah.
Oh, April, I never grew up. I'm so terrible. April, that's a lie. Can I talk about? Am I allowed to shout out April, Brian?
Let's. Yeah, go ahead.
April's a great builder. She did this cool thing for Flynn and Richard's Everyone is Awesome Tricky Bricks Extravaganza, and she built she added on to the Everything is Awesome with this big like spiral of rainbow and like a heart. It was very good. Yeah. Spiral.
Right.
That's the word.
That's it.
Yeah.
Brent, you're right though. A father-daughter team. I don't think we've had, at least in the US, I don't think Lego Masters has had that. Have we? I feel like that would really tick the boxes for what they're looking for on Lego Masters. That'd be a fun team.
Yeah, I can't remember. One of the people who went on it here in Australia or auditioned or something said they're basically looking for stories. So we have present a couple of people together as a story. Like this is their journey.
I've heard from folks who made it far in the casting process that they I don't think this, I mean, I didn't sign an NDA, that they will see the dynamics that they think will form between each of the teams, and they'll pick either really good dynamics or really bad dynamics. Like if they think that people are going to butt heads and fight, they're like, let's go for it. I think that's fun.
That's how you plan to get on the show, right, Joseph?
Yeah, I'll fight someone on television.
Honestly, I don't know if it's about bad dynamics. I think it's about whether or not both end up for.
I guess we'll never know. You cut out.
You're really you were cutting in and out.
Sorry. I don't think it's about being feisty or about being bad, having bad dynamics. I think it's about whether or not both members will be feisty and stand up for themselves and actually make a statement to each other. So you really have to hold your ground and hold your space. So I think it's more about that, I hope, than about drama.
Yeah, I don't think they want people fighting each other. Mm-hmm. They don't want
sorry,
WWE or the glow on Lego Masters. That'd be a funny crossover. A wrestling challenge.
2 people enter the brick pit, only one leaves.
Yeah, that'd be funny. You got to people elbow someone's mock. That's a method of destruction. They have the rock people's elbow into a thing. That's his move, right? The people's elbow. I don't know.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Someone gets cut up in the brick pit, and these bricks are brand new. They're so sharp. They're cut.
I just want to be.
Let's ask Will. See if he'll do it. What does he think?
Why do you own that? That's terrifying.
Okay, so Bricks, my local Bricks and Minifig bought that for me for my watch parties. And
that's
it's
cool.
Awesome. It is hilarious. And so I just happen to have it here with me because I'm doing a watch party tonight, and I'm going to take that with me. So if you want to come, take a selfie with Will Arnett, cardboard cutout Will Arnett, come to my watch party and we'll take a selfie together.
My goal is to be a guest judge someday on Lego Masters. I don't want to compete.
Nice.
I just want to talk about some people's builds.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
that would be a lot of fun.
I want to cut out like that, but instead of Jang bricks, just to have it, just like peeking over my background here, from the side, just
See, but Brian would talk to him. He'd hold up his build and be like, "What do you think, Jang? How does this look? You like it?"
See, he's already got the setup. He's ready. See.
So what do you think, Brian?
I think it looks really good, Jang. Good job.
Thank you, Brian.
You're
Can I
right,
get a
Jake.
little good luck? Okay, thank you.
So
I
glad
like
I
to
got
so
keep
to
it in your
soft.
head, Jane. Keep you so good.
So soft.
This needs to be a meme.
Wow.
I just feel invigorated. Just
And
I'm
he's
feeling the
asleep.
love. It's in the air.
As you should, man. As you
I'm
should.
feeling more professional too.
So, Josh, have you seen Jang's live streams recently at all?
I have not. Sorry, Jang.
He's been too
No,
busy playing
thank
pickleball.
goodness.
Jang,
Hey, but
has-
that doesn't mean we still have the Patreon support going. We're not going to end that. We're still big fans. There's just a lot going on in life, you know. You can't catch all the live streams.
Lots of pickleball tournaments to go to.
That's right. There's a lot of pickleball tournaments to play.
he has like all sorts of sound effects that go off, and if you donate a certain amount of bits, a goat will be like right on screen. Like there's a lot of different things going on.
I'll have to make sure I check it out. I do sometimes when I have some downtime, I'll open the Twitch app and see if any Lego people are live, and just try to check in whoever might be live at that time.
The way you phrased it, you're like, when I sit down and I have a moment, I open up their newspaper instead of the newspaper. It's that Twitch app.
Pretty much. That's pretty much how I do it. Oh.
Never
I
stopped
like
by my live stream. It's okay.
I like this comment here. This is how they would have me as a guest judge. You have to just stop and do like a Beyond the Brick style interview with your build. It's a surprise interview. I'll just show up.
I didn't think that. Oh, go, Brian.
You know who would be good for Lego Masters is Andres. Where's that man?
He would be. He'd be good as a contestant, a judge. I mean, there's really nothing that would not be entertaining with him on the show. They've done Germany, right?
Yeah, they have. I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because a friend of his, it's a really good builder. A friend of his won. I remember him talking about that. Yeah.
I'd be scared
That's
to go
really-
to Lego Masters. That
I
sounds.
wouldn't be.
It seems so scary.
Well, you just go there, you do your thing, and then whatever happens, happens. You know.
I would make a fool of myself.
That's the point.
That's what they want.
I know that's what they want. It's not what I want, though. I
Joe,
want
Coming from
control
a
of
man
everything.
who just came on a live stream and he talked about Barbies in a pot.
Yo, your issue is that you.
I thought we were past
wanna
that.
you want to still have integrity when you're done with this show. Anything can happen. You just gotta let it happen.
I just want to control my own narrative.
No.
Which they say is the worst thing, and that if you're on reality television, like the audience sees through that. If you try to edit yourself, the audience knows and they can't stand you. I also think
Just
I'd
be
cry a
yourself.
lot.
Honestly, your natural self would be so incredible on television.
Thank you.
You would be so good.
You might have to bump the rating. What's Lego Masters rated? PG? G?
PG.
PG? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I can vibe with that.
Not even PG-13. PG.
I can vibe with that.
I mean, you would be good to have on.
We were definitely not always PG on set. Like but we were talking, like we would do interviews with Will, and there were things being said that I knew was going to get cut. Like there was no way they were going to, but the final edit is PG.
That's fun.
Wait, edit? I thought it was reality TV.
It is reality TV. We are real. We are really reacting to what we're seeing.
But you just said it was
as far as,
edited.
like,
You
the
just ruined
timeline-
my whole view of TV.
Ooh, I have a question that no one
I'm
will
not
care
there
about.
tonight.
I have a
It's
question
already
that
been
no one will
filmed.
care about. So I heard that you have to prepare your entire wardrobe for the show. Did you have any fun wardrobe notes? Did they have to were they like, no, we hate that belt, don't wear that?
Joseph,
This is
that's
good.
so
No,
nice.
this is good. This is good.
Well, I mean,
Brent, you woke up early for this.
Everything
I
had
hope
to be
you're proud,
approved.
man.
uh-huh.
Everything had to be approved. So like Natalie and Michelle have these jumpsuits with patches on them.
Mhm.
They came without the patches sewn on, because each patch was going through an approval process, whether or not they could use the intellectual property on air. So like my socks had designs on them, and so I had to send them pictures of my socks to see, could we use these? And so everything had to be approved before we went. But my wardrobe, my entire suitcase, yes, I had a suitcase of wardrobe and a suitcase of Lego. My entire suitcase of wardrobe on day one was changed. Nothing I am wearing is mine on that show.
Well, now I'll have to go see if now I'll have to go see if that was a good thing or a bad thing.
That's what I remember. I remember Boone and other people saying that from season 1 is they dressed them every day, like for the entire show.
So they want you in your clothes, they want you in your style, they want you in your fashion. But because there was 12 teams, my theme was being used on another team, and so they rerouted our theme. And so I got to wear my shoes at episode 1, and then after that, that was it. Nothing else was mine. My jewelry was mine, and my makeup was mine. Other than that, everything else was my style, but not necessarily, but nothing was my clothes. So feel free to make fun of Jen and Susan's wardrobe all you want.
No, that's not what I meant. I more meant like I was curious if like they like wanted to pursue a certain route, because I mean, like, I'm curious what the differentiation would be. I'm curious.
They want.
So
you were right when they said when you said they want a story. So they want everything to be on that story. So your clothes tell that story, whatever story they've got for you. And so Susan and I were moms, and so they wanted our clothes to reflect that, right? I couldn't have gone in wearing DIY clothes or plaid or anything else, because that was somebody else's story. And so they really wanted to, but they tell your story with your clothes. So everything has to be approved. Everything has to be approved. And speaking of which, so Easter egg drop for tonight, you guys. I want you guys to post who is wearing the Kelsey bracelet tonight. So that will be an Easter egg that just keeps on going. So episodes 1 and 2, Jack and Dawn were wearing the Kelsey bracelets. Episode 3, I was wearing the Kelsey bracelet. And so episode 4, I don't believe it made it to any edits because it was not approved wardrobe and got cut. So episode 5, so we had to get that in our wardrobes to wear that. Even though it was Lego, we had to get it approved. Very strict.
We'll keep an eye out for
it. Who will be wearing the Kelsey bracelet tonight? Easter egg.
I wonder.
Season 2 Easter egg.
Yeah, Joshua's wardrobe story would be red polo and khakis.
I'd show up and be like, "Don't worry, I've got a closet full of red shirts already, so we're set." The story tells itself.
You're the Steve Jobs of the Lego community.
Right. Now the narrative is complete. Joshua is the Steve Jobs of the Lego community. John is the Jeff Bezos of the Lego community. All right.
Or John.
He's out here making multi-million-dollar
I'm pretty
deals.
sure John would be okay with that.
That's true.
He's fine.
He's Wozniak then.
I don't know. I don't know. Speaking of which, we have Joel Ralston with the new membership to the YouTube channel. Thanks, Joel. Nice. You get access to those spicy emotes now of all the heads of the three of us up here. It's good stuff.
Jang, what season of Lego Masters do you plan to make an appearance?
Wait, me?
Jang.
Oh, Jang. Yeah, Jang.
I'm on NDA. I can't say.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Understandable.
Jeez. Wow.
Like I said, I'm shooting for 6. The last season, when the viewership's low, it's got like the Fox wanted rid of it, so they put it on like, I don't know, like VH1 or something, or like MTV at like 2 a.m. Some real bad slot.
I think it's only going to get bigger. It is not going to get smaller. It is going to get bigger.
Oh no, I mean after the apex has been reached, and then it goes like, and then it'll be like me, Snooki, Tiffany Pollard, that. Those people who are just on
With
every
all
single
the good
reality.
challenges, all the good challenges have been done. They don't have good challenges left. Oh,
Yeah,
so
I
here's a
gotta-
question for you guys. So, episode 4 for us was the fashion episode, and the rumor has it that season 1 made the suggestion. The cast from season 1 made the suggestion to have a fashion show for season 2. So, if us at season 2 were to have a suggested challenge for season 3, if there's a season 3, what would be a good challenge that we could have them do? I'm going to open this up to you guys. What do you think?
I feel like that's a good question for me and Nick, considering we're building these week after week.
They've kind of done this in the Australian one. There's something I always tell people. People go, "Oh, how do you go about making mocks? How do I make my own thing?" I always tell them, take a set you've got or buy a set and just see what you can build with those parts. See what else you can build with it. And I think they've kind of done that in the Australian one. I think they gave everyone the same parts and let them build a certain thing. But something like that where you all got the exact same pieces to work with, and what can you do within that limited palette?
So it's funny you say that, because that's exactly what me and Nick are doing, where we have the exact same bricks, like from boxes and a Dots kit, and we're building it because he has a more organized collection than me. So to make it even and cohesive, we're doing exactly that. And it's a challenge. It's a big challenge.
So this is actually something I did to practice. I took a 3-in-1. I bought 3 of them, and then I built all 3 to learn the techniques, and then you take it apart and combine all 3 to build something giant that's yours. And so that was really, really good practice for Lego Masters. Those 3-in-1 sets are awesome. And so I'm actually building a model right now of the 3 sets, and then I'm going to show what I built, combining the 3, and I'm hoping to have it on display in my local Lego store.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
I had an idea for a challenge the other day. It would never do it, but I thought it would be kind of interesting. Is an episode where you have to switch teammates to completely change the dynamics, and then both of the team double elimination. Everyone involved gets sent home. So
You're mean.
I thought that'd be interesting. Well, because then you can't send one. Or are you going to send? That would be good too. If the bottom team gets sent home, so now they're stuck with their new partner, and their friend from back home got booted.
that would be so spicy. Wow.
That would be.
Why aren't you producing the show?
Oh boy.
Right, Joe died.
He's going out on a high note.
His idea was so good they had to cut him off.
Censor him, cut him off.
I cut out, so I don't know what I last said.
You finished.
You were talking about the friends. The friends at home got the boot.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that'd be
Send your
juicy.
teammate home. That's mean. That's just
You're
mean.
just trying to create so much drama.
Tell me that would not be fun television.
Oh yeah, it's super fun to watch.
I know the fans. I know the AFL fans wouldn't like it because they never like when the show gets too reality TV trashy. They never like that. So
We're gonna produce Lego Master Show on Beyond the Brick and have you be the producer, Joseph, and then we'll do all of your ideas that would never make it on television.
Yeah.
it could be like the Real Housewives of Brickville, Virginia. I'll throw a martini glass at someone any day.
We'll bring all the contestants to a warehouse in Indiana and do our own version of Lego.
One fluorescent light.
Sniffle goalie, that's good. Love Island, but with AFLs, that's good. Oh, I love that. Imagine the lack of chemistry, complete awkwardness. That would be good in a way that
sweat. Lots of sweat.
And while it's all going on, you've got trolls online commenting and being read to the cast.
Yeah, me. I'm the troll.
There's no angle of this that Joseph doesn't control behind the scenes, in front of the camera. He's just running everything.
I'm in front of the camera. I'm behind the camera. I am the cameraman. I'm the boom operator. It's a one-man show.
You're doing too much. You're going to end up getting injured, and then what's going to happen to the show?
Workers' comp that I also have to pay for. It's going to be horrible.
Brian,
Joel.
we have a donation here.
We do. Jen's 3-in-1 idea is great. I use the remaining pieces after an alternate build to create a framed brick wall between two doors. Ooh, nice.
Ooh,
Thank you for
all
the
right,
$5 super
Joel.
chat.
Nice. Thanks,
I was
Joel.
going to suggest a monochrome challenge, which is a lot more boring than switching up the teams. But if you have to work with just one color the whole way through, because that forces you to work a lot with height and depth and get detail without necessarily having color variety. So you could stay within
Isn't that just being a Star Wars collector?
Oh, right, exactly. Because it's all gray.
They did a similar challenge on Tattoo Masters, where you had to like mess with like light and shadow to make a distinctive image because you could only use one color.
Yeah, I think that shows a lot of display and skill without. And a critique of this season has been that a lot of the challenges involve the idea of something potentially being destroyed because of the way it's set up, where like the hats are or it's hanging or whatever. That's just straight up like artistic skill and making it work with what you got. So that would be what I would roll with. But Nick, do you have any ideas for like a challenge you would like to see?
I think it'd be interesting maybe to have like more life size. Like I think the hats were kind of a good interpretation of like life size stuff, but like, more like props, like things people need to sit or stand on, or like, taking that maybe a little bit further. Even maybe getting even grander, even potentially like a Duplo challenge could be crazy cool, where everybody switched to Duplo, and then people have to go giant for their builds because they work at such a large scale with that.
Yeah, if you had to make like a Duplo chair or Duplo
living room,
whatever, right? That'd be really
what Graham Diamond has done it like Brickworld type stuff.
That kind of stuff. Yep.
What if everybody needed to make a prop from a living room? So somebody had to make a lamp, a chair, a table, and you had to work cohesively to make a set of Duplo.
Great idea there too. Yep.
There you go. Take that one, season 3. Me and Nick will do it. Bam, just like that. We got it. It's all good.
Now, what if they took that idea and then didn't cast you?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Actually, there's a YouTuber that I like, and she was supposed to get a reality show with E, and they were like, hey, we want to do a crossover episode with one of our other people to promote. Who would you want to go with? And she's like, oh, I would love to do a crossover episode with the Kardashians. Here is my idea. And then they're like, great idea. Never wrote her back, and then did her idea with another person.
Why you don't just spout your ideas on live streams for free, Joseph?
You know what, Lego Masters, you can take my splitting up team ideas. That is such a good idea. That is so much drama. That is so juicy. You can have that. That's free. Free $99.
I don't even want to know what the premium stuff is. Yeah, so how far are you in this? So
build? I'm literally putting the last couple pieces on this build right now, and I wanted to finish it on stream. So I'll
you
put
like
the
done
score
with
on
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Josh has been working this whole time. He's had his head down.
I know.
He's working. He's working it. He's flying.
I've done nothing.
I made this. This is all I've done. Let's make that.
So you remember season 1 when Terry Crews comes busting through the wall, right? So we're standing on the risers and they're redoing the set, and literally my favorite time of filming was just the little small talk and the banter when we were all together on the risers, and we were talking about what guest hosts we would love to have, and they were like, yeah, we should have somebody bust through the wall again. And I was like, that would be funny, but it's got to be like some tiny woman like Anna Kendrick or something like that, busting through this big wall. And so we started listing all these people that we thought would be awesome to bust through a wall. But even like past Lego Masters, I definitely think we should have like guest hosts from past seasons. I hope Lego Masters is watching, because I will totally do this. I'm volunteering. Let's go. I will bust through the wall. Come on.
I think I would lose my mind.
Who would you love?
I would lose my mind if I were building on Lego Masters and then I just see Boone links and be like, everybody,
right? What? Right? Or
I would
you were
want to.
trying
I
to
would
have
want
him help
someone.
your team.
I would
Right.
want someone to drive in on like one of those like kid jeeps. You know, just drive like through the wall in one of those. I think that'd be fun.
But made out of Lego.
Yeah, or make it look like a Speed Champion set. That'd be fun.
Nice.
Get that guy whose videos are always going viral where he makes like giant Lego things. He made a go-kart. Hire him.
Mm-hmm. John has said like ever since the end of season 1 that they're definitely going to bring Boone back for something at some point. That's
that'd be
John's
cool.
theory.
And he's Jeff Bezos of the Lego realm, so he knows things.
True. He does have a lot of clout. A lot of power.
Now, with your boss being Jeff Bezos, Joshua, are you allowed bathroom breaks?
Once a week.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
generous. Generous. Oh,
Man.
Nick, you can't. Nick's not part of this conversation. He has like that Amazon thing that he does.
Oh,
We wanna
that's
get
true.
him in
We can't,
trouble.
we can't say bad things about Amazon.
Sorry, I'm bad mouthing your
What
boss.
it's like.
Amazon doesn't pay any of our bills, but you just can't say anything bad about Facebook or Google.
Oh, okay. I don't know who runs those companies. Wait, Facebook? Yes, I do. What's his face?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, that lizard looking dude.
Joshua, how's the build?
Yes, it's done.
Wow.
Isn't there like a video of like Mark Zuckerberg's eyes closing like the wrong way? Isn't that a thing?
Joshua, let's see that police station. What's that? What's it looking like?
Here we go. Look at this. This is my
Looks
favorite probably detail is this incredible, these 2 giant printed tiles on the side. It's like a billboard. That is so cool. And then let's see. Here's the first floor with the billboard on the side.
Floor done before?
No, I had the base. I was halfway done with like the second floor when I started today. Here's the second floor. There's a little spot on this over here for like taking photos. It's like a camera setup. And then the first floor has the donut shop. This is my favorite floor for sure. It's got the donut shop in there, the little newsstand on the front, and then the like lobby of the police station.
Mm.
Yeah, that is
Very
one I've
fun
yet to
build.
pick up.
Nothing very like real repetitive or anything in this build. I very much enjoyed it. I think Chris McVeigh did a great job.
Awesome. Good stuff. Well,
Chris
what
McVeigh
are
is
you
one
gonna-
of my favorites. He's awesome.
I'm so glad he left the wilderness of Canada to move to Billund and bless us with his talents.
so that leaves it for the final show. Joshua, you got to build something spicy.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I'll try to build anything or just keep focus on the conversation for the final episode.
You should do
Yeah,
a
we
clip
gotta-
show.
What? No,
A
that
what?
requires effort. No,
A clip
that's a lot.
show.
Are you offering to
Have
edit it?
Brian do it. Brian's really good at editing.
What? Listen, I got a lot of stuff going on. I gotta make a lot of multi-million-dollar deals. I gotta watch Jang Bricks do his live stream. Boone's gonna do his thing. All right, so
Yeah. I think you should do a little clip show. I think that'd be fun. Best moments.
the whole clip show is just anytime Kirk has spoken in the past 60 episodes.
Wow.
That is
You
so
know,
rude.
I actually spoke this episode, Brian.
You
Thank you
did.
very much.
You did.
I actually spoke. I said there's no telling what's going to happen in the last 2 episodes, and things happen. We got Andreas standing in front of a porta potty.
Andreas is standing in front of an apple. Andreas standing in front of a bridge.
Crashing the tour of the sculpture in that park. It's really just all the highlights.
Andreas sitting under a tree in a park just talking to us until it was pitch black dark, and we're like, okay, we can't see you anymore.
Wait, is this sort of a Star Wars thing where originally it was supposed to be the Anakin story and then it turns out it's actually the Palpatine story? Is the Quarantine Cast really the Andres story?
It is. It has been all along. No, we planned that in the background from episode 1. I invited Brian to co-host, but our plan all along was to turn it into the Andreas saga.
Yeah, the ACU, the Andres Cinematic Universe. Watch out, Spider-Man.
I've never laughed as hard at anything at Spider-Man as I do with Andreas, so I think he got him beat there. So Brent, before we sign off, is there any Lego conventions that you'll be at later this year? Any place people can find you?
We're still trying to find out whether we can have them yet here in Australia. We've got one coming up at a local store here. It's only a small one. The start of August. It's like a little pop-up one. And I've got a micro scale Gotham City, what would you call it? Skyline kind of build I'm bringing. I'll have my bonsai. I did a bonsai a few years ago. Probably some of the stuff behind me. I'm trying to do like a Seinfeld street scene, or more of a New York street scene. So I've like converted the Friends Cafe to a modular. I'm doing the restaurant, which I'll see if I can pull this camera off and show you. And if that's reaching.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
The Seinfeld, Tom's Restaurant? The real restaurant's called Tom's Restaurant in New York. I don't know if you can see inside there.
Very nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Jerry's apartment, and that's the start of the Friends Cafe. I'm trying to do it as like a New York kind of thing, so lots of TV-based New York things. So I've got the Little Shop of Horrors I've started, which is just the storefront at the moment. Oop.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I've got that. That'll turn into another building. I want to convert the Sesame Street build into a more modular style thing. I'll rebuild the Ghostbusters firehouse and just do like a whole New York via TV movies kind of thing.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
I want to show you one last thing. This is probably cheating.
Go ahead.
One other thing I've built. These are all a bit dusty, all custom printed. So most of these aren't official.
Wow.
Wow. That's
going blurry.
Wow.
That's awesome.
But it's not focusing, so.
Love it.
Jang, any other live streams you've got coming up?
Yeah, I'm just gonna continue on Twitch. It's the Jang on Twitch. I'm doing just the regular style of builds. I'm probably gonna keep most of my custom stuff off of streaming, just so that when I'm in that creative mood, I can just kind of stick to that and not go back and forth. But yeah, pretty much more of the same for me. Playing a little bit more with Twitch than YouTube at the moment for streams.
Sounds good. Joseph, are you going to make it back with us next week?
Oh, if you extend an invitation, I'll sure.
Brian's like,
or not.
Joe, it's been a pleasure having you for the quarantine cast.
Thank you. Is this where we part ways?
Yeah, no, we're good.
All right.
No, of course. Yeah.
But for anyone who didn't hear, if you've
Joe, let's set up a Lego Masters build off. Let's pick a set, and me and Joe will build on live next week, and we'll go at it.
I would be so down.
Let's do it.
You will destroy me.
What's that?
I'm the slowest builder in the world. I have
time
any?
Clock is the worst.
I don't know if I have any. Oh, I have the Bo Batten's carriage. That's a small enough set. Do you have that?
But I can get it.
I added you on Instagram so we can chat. We don't need to delay the show.
All right, let's do it.
We'll figure it out.
For anyone who's joined us late, this next week will be the final quarantine cast, which I believe will be episode 60. So we're ending on episode 60, which is kind of crazy to think that we've done that many episodes, but I'm sure it will be a fun one to finish off. And then later that week, John and I will fly out for the start of our first Lego show travels and have more convention content coming soon. So we will see everyone next week for the final episode. Thank you for joining. Oh, I should do the Twitch raid trade thing real quick.
Yes, I put it.
I copied that here. So everyone watching on Twitch, thank you so much. We will see you later. There we go. I think it went through.
And then for YouTube, still here, but yep. It's going to go on Twitch in a half second here. There we go. It went on
there
Twitch.
We go. Okay. Now we'll sign off everywhere else. Thanks, everyone. See you next
Bye.
week.